Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aniparipari seasonal podcast at a glance for spring 2017. I am Rachelle, and I am joined by the lovely
Spiral.
Wow,
It's me.
I gave you such a nice intro, and you were like, Spiral.
I mean, I feel like it is my destiny to ruin every intro, and I have made the prophecy come true. So therefore, who's the real loser here? Not me.
So we are here with our probably very long podcast to discuss
It's gonna be great.
The shows from this season. Yeah, it is gonna be great. So, you know, buckle up, strap in for a ride of discussions of anime.
A really slow weeb ride.
A really slow. It's like one of those ones at Disneyland where, like, you know, it's just gonna be like you're just gonna see like animatronics. Like, you're not gonna like actually experience a thrill. Well, you might experience a thrill or two.
The thrill of seeing animatronics.
Like, maybe one like pops out at you and point or something. This is a really weird metaphor. I'm gonna move away from this. Okay,
Yeah, so stop.
So the rules, in case this is your first time listening, the rules for our At a Glance podcast is we watch everything, all the first episodes of the shows for spring 2017. However, we skip shorts and sequels if we haven't like watched the original series. But for the podcast itself discussion, we will not talk about sequels, even if we are watching them. Though at the end, when we say what we're watching, sequels will be on the list of stuff that we are watching. So just to let you guys know what we will be skipping, I'll just go through the list really fast. We will not be talking about Berserk 2, Beyblade Burst God, Boku no Hero Academia, Boruto, since that's technically a sequel. This really long title.
Dungeon show.
Dungeon ni Deo Sword Oratoria, the spin-off of the Dungeon show. Duel Masters, Future Card Buddy Fight, Idle Time Prepara, Kyokai no Rin Season 3, Natsume Yujincho Season 6,
7,000.
Season 20. Rilu Feru some fairy show, second season. Sayano Heroine no Soda Takata, I think. Soda Takata, Season 2.
Yeah.
Shingeki no Bahamut, Season 2. Shingeki no Kyojin, Season 2. Starmie, Season 2. Snack World and Tomika Hyper Rescue Drive Head. Whatever, those two did not show up anywhere, so we couldn't actually watch them. Uchoten Kazoku 2, Twin Angel Break is a spin-off, so we skipped that, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains is also a spin-off. Those are things that we did not watch, and everything else, I mean, we didn't list all the shorts that we didn't watch, but...
Oh, we don't do shorts anyway, but
we just don't do shorts, so we just don't do that.
Just assume.
Just assume we're not going to talk about that. And yeah, everything else we will be discussing on the podcast. We will be following the Annie chart, spring 2017, in alphabetical order. So you have to do the sort by title because they changed their whole sorting system, which I actually really like, by the way, because you can.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
I wish it didn't default to score. I wish it defaulted to what I wanted it to default to.
I wish it defaulted to title, but I like that you can kind of like see what is what.
I do like that you can sort through it in different ways. I just wish it defaulted to a better starting point.
Yeah, I hate that it defaults to score. You can follow us on Kitsu to see what we're watching. That's kind of spoilers for this podcast, though, because I think we're on like episode 6 about in the season. So by this point, we've pretty much settled on everything we're watching. And
regrets.
You have regrets already.
Maybe we'll talk about them later.
Yeah, we'll get there. And so just so you know that this podcast is going to have spoilers for the first episode. No matter what you do, you're going to be spoiled on first episodes. We will speak up if we think that there's going to be spoilers for a little bit later on in the show. And we'll just get to the end and tell you guys what we're watching, and you guys can talk about what you're watching, if you agree with us or disagree, or how you feel. Also, I'm a little sick, so if I cough or sneeze, I'm sorry. I will try my best.
Rude.
I know, I'm so rude. So we will get started, I think, since we have a lot of shows to get through, and the podcast always ends up being longer than we expected. So the first thing we're going to start with, which was actually one of the earlier shows anyway, is Alice to Zouroku, which is about a little girl who escapes from some research facility, and she ends up meeting up with like this old man, and he kind of like helps her, and she starts to stay with him, and I guess he runs a flower shop. That wasn't
He's a florist.
Yeah, that was like the very end of the first episode, which by the way was 40 minutes long.
It was like 45 minutes long. It was super long.
What did you? Why don't you start about your thoughts on this?
Part of me likes that it tried something different. Like, I like that it was centered around an old man and not have them be like, look at all these cute moe girls. Wouldn't it be easy just to like pair them up with like a teenage boy who's like going through some stuff?
Wouldn't that be so easy?
Wouldn't it be super easy though, like in every other show? But it's just this nice old man he's like, this is my granddaughter now. And it's cute, and she's gonna help me deliver flowers and be a real girl. Isn't that cute? And it is ambitious in the fact that it did some weird CGI stuff, but it wasn't good CGI stuff. So, if it was just about this guy being a florist, I probably would have watched this entire show and just like recommended it to everyone. Because I'm like, man, wouldn't that be cool? Just about this old guy running a flower shop. That would have been fun.
But instead, to watch too.
Yeah, but instead we have these stupid girls. There's so many of them too, and they're all in skimpy, stupid outfits, and they're dumb. And I don't like it. I didn't like it, Rachelle. What did you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm automatically, like, thrown off when first episodes, or any anime episode, is more than, like, 25 minutes. I don't know if I have an attention span to watch beyond that for anime. I don't know why, but, like, I don't know. At first I was interested, because I liked the beginning, like, where she's, like, escaping from the facility, and there's, like, mystical powers involved, and I love that stuff. So I was like, oh man, I'm kind of like into this. And I also really like, there's like that woman who has like the giant hand power, and I was like, oh man, what is this like Super Smash Brothers stuff? It was like the master hand, and I was like, this is really cool.
Oh, the master hand.
That was funny, but then it turned like really generic to me, because like, yeah, like the rest of it is just her like meeting up with this old guy, and that would have been cool, but like she's kind of a brat, so she's like super annoying. And yeah, I don't know, like when the other girls showed up, I was really disinterested, because yeah, they're all that sort of like moe thing. The art style wasn't really for me. It was like a little too cutesy, and I didn't like Alice enough. I don't think that was her actual name. I don't think her actual name is Alice. I think that was just like her power name. But like her, like, she just did not appeal to me. So yeah, this one was a no for me in the end. What about you?
Yeah, no, I'm not watching this.
No.
No way.
Yeah, so I mean, if you are interested in like cute moe stuff, girls with powers, this might be the show for you. But for us, it just did not. No.
Yeah. No.
So let's move on to the next one. Moving right along.
Moving right along.
I know you're probably thrilled to...
I am. The next show is Adam, the beginning, which is technically a prequel. So I guess technically you didn't have to watch this one if you didn't want to.
Oh.
In a way.
I did.
Well, yeah. Anyway, this is a kind of a prequel show. It tells the story of the creator of Astro Boy, Umataro Tenma, as he's like going through his like first few stages at uni and stuff. I say uni, it's the most British person ever. No, he's going through like school and stuff and just learning about robotics, and he's like doing like research and trying to trying to get grant money and stuff with his friend Hiroshi, and it's super cute. And if you know the story of Astro Boy, you'd be super mad about it, because, like, what the heck? But whatever, I'm not going to talk about Astro Boy. I really like Astro Boy, by the way. I love it. There used to be a really cute Chinese dub on TV when I was a kid, and I was like, oh man, Astro Boy! He was great. And I love Astro Boy. And yeah, it's a cute show, and it's so well animated, too. I really like the studio. I love Production IG. I think they do really good, crisp animation, and it's always really detailed and fast.
They do. I was like, yeah, they do. They're one of the best.
I was like, what do they do? I was like, Haikyuu.
Oh, no. Sorry. No, I was agreeing with you. I know what they do.
Okay. I'm familiar.
With Production IG's work. All right, I'm familiar.
They're super good. I think they're my favorite studio right now.
Yeah, right now they're definitely one of the better ones. I definitely have like a list of ones I enjoy. Production IG and like KyoAni and PA Works. Are generally
PA
my
Works
favorites.
POH and Aeon Pictures are kind of right now.
I feel like it just depends on like what they're showing. Like, but animation style, it always looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, Adam, it's really good. You should watch it. How dare you ransack my review?
I know. So you are watching
Ramshackled
it. So you are watching this one, then?
I am watching this one, but what do you think, Rachelle?
I was fine with Adam. Like, I don't have the attachment to Astro Boy like you do. I watched, like, some of it for a class that I took on anime, because it's, like, you know, a classic anime. I like it, and I appreciate it for what it is, but I just don't have the same, like, nostalgia attachment to it. So, for me, I didn't really know much about it, so I just watched Adam kind of blind. The opening song is awesome. It's just that.
It's a super fun song.
I was a little bored watching it, just because I don't think I knew the characters. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't have the same attachment to them, I didn't connect with it as well. The animation is, like, awesome. The scene where they, like, grab the noses, though, was, like, really cute.
They're super cute.
Yeah. Like, their friendship is really interesting. And especially knowing, like, what happens, I'm like, oh, that makes it more interesting to me. But I feel like because I don't know Astro Boy as much, it was sort of lost on me. So I personally am not following this one. But that's okay, because Spiral is.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll tell you all about it.
We enjoy watching different things sometimes, because
we enjoy anime.
We enjoy anime, but it's like interesting when we watch different things, because then we can like discuss it later. But yeah, so I mean, like, I think if you're into Astro Boy, and this is totally the show for you, I just don't have that connection. So it was like, this is fine, but I wasn't like, wow, you know what I mean? So I didn't think it was bad or anything.
Okay, well, do you want to talk about the next one?
Yeah. Oh, man. The next one is great. Okay, so the next one is Busou Shoujo Machiavellianism.
Machiavellian or whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually a real word that I don't know how to say.
Yes. Yeah. So this was probably, like, my favorite show to, like, make fun of this season. But let me, like, discuss it first. So basically, like, the story is this guy is, like, a delinquent, and he gets sent to this school where, like, there are these sword fighting girls who, like, rule the school, and, like, they are supposed to, like, keep all these delinquents in line. The guys who are kind of, like, whipped by these girls, basically, for lack of a better word, they all, like, wear women's makeup to, like, fit in and stuff like that. Like, they're trying to, like, blend in. Oh, man. I just thought it was, like, really funny. Like, this is so not my type of show at all. It has, like, a super harem feel. And, of course, it was, like, girls with swords. I feel like that's such a thing lately. Like, look at these girls with swords. You know what I mean? Like, schoolgirls with swords, specifically. And I was like, oh, man, how exciting. And, like, of course, like, the main guy is, like, special, and, like, oh, man. And, like, I don't know. The designs were, like, so ridiculous. And, like, there's a scene where he, like, falls and lands on her and they kiss. Like, oh, my goodness. Like, the classic. Oops.
Classic trope.
The classic trope. And, like, of course the girls fight and stuff. I don't know. And, like, I hate that stuff that's, like, a trope lately. I feel like I don't think it started with Prison School, you know, that prison school show.
It definitely didn't start with Prison School.
It didn't start with Prison School, but I feel like it's become more popular since then, where, like, the girls are, like, kind of abusive to the guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, not, like, abusive, because that sounds really, like, Tumblr. I don't know, you know what I mean? But, like, I know what you mean. The girls being, like, mean to the guy. I don't know. I hate that trope so much.
It's kind of like dominatrix kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, the girls are, like, headstrong and not damsels in distresses kind of thing. Like, they're people who can fight. But, well, it's like, they have traits that they think males would be attracted to, basically. Like, a proficiency in being able to have a sword makes them, like, different from other girls, but then obviously the special guy comes along and he's like the one who like can see through that she's not just like super strong and everything. She's a girl deep inside and capable of love and stuff like that. That's the kind of stupid trope it is.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why I don't like it, because it's not the idea of like these women being powerful. It's not for the sake of women, it's for the sake of, like, a guy fetish.
Well, obviously, I mean? Yeah.
And I feel like that's why it's, like, super frustrating to me that I don't like that kind of
well, we're
trope.
not the target audience, again. It's,
we're
like,
not.
To show that girls are proficient in a weapon is, like, to attract something that males find super attractive.
Yes.
Or cool.
Yeah. But, like, the thing is, I did laugh at this. I mean, like... like, I don't think it was, like, I don't know if I laughed in the right places, but I laughed at this.
The important thing is you had fun.
I did. It was one of those shows that I was like, this is garbage, but I'm laughing, you know? And it wasn't like boring. Like, I wasn't like, I was like, this is a train wreck, and I'm like thoroughly enjoying, like, this is one of those shows that I really enjoyed, because I have, like, for the first episode thing that we do where you watch the first episode of everything, I feel like it's twofold in that sometimes I find shows that I never would have thought to watch, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then sometimes I find shows that are like, this is so bad, it's funny, and that is why I do this. And so I was very pleased to watch this and laugh. But no, I'm not watching this. Spiral.
Well, pretty much summed up everything. But I feel like while it was bad, it was entertaining. So I don't feel like it's one of those shows that I would watch sarcastically, because it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. It was just kind of laughably bad. Terra bad, I call it. But yeah,
Terra
it was
bad.
fine. It was stupid, but it was also funny in weird places. Not because it was trying to make me laugh, just because I was laughing at how ridiculous it was in general.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, it was fine. I would probably watch it again.
Would you really?
It was like whatever. It wasn't like offensive.
No, it wasn't. It was just sort of like. The boys wearing the makeup was, like, the best part. That was, like, my favorite part. It was so funny.
I like when they swoop over all the girls with swords and you're like, that's her. That's girl. It was the one with green hair, by the way. But, yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, should we move on to the next one?
We should.
All right. Well, why don't you talk about Clockwork Planet?
Man, luck of the draw, because I don't know what the heck this show's about. But according to this description right here, it is about a boy who is super into tinkering with stuff. This is a guy who likes gears, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so he really likes gears and clocks, and he wants to fix all the clocks or something. He has a room full of clocks, is what I remember. And then a robot woman falls from the sky, and he's like, man, this is way harder than a clock. Oh yeah, he's also not good at fixing clocks, but then he can fix this android woman for some reason. Like, he can't fix a clock, but can fix a woman, so...
And she's, like, super hard to fix, too, or something like that.
Yeah, like, she's like, way harder than a clock to fix, but he's like, got it. Nailed it. And then
Boom.
soon to nail her. And then, yeah. basically what it was. They make a pact on the roof, I guess. It's one of those shows where they show what happens in the future before everything else, and that kind of weird out of order fashion that's really popular. But I don't know. I remember they had a really weird scene on the roof where he's like, let's make a pact. And she just kind of like, she just kind of makes a weird, gross contract with him. That's really unnecessary.
Like, sucks on his finger.
Yeah, it's really gross.
It was so gross.
She just coats his finger in her saliva and she's like, did it. Pact. And he's like, okay.
He probably dug it. Let's be real.
I'm sure someone watching dug it. But not me, I guess.
Not
I'm
us.
sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
But yeah, I don't really like this show. I thought it was weird. Also, not very interesting. Not sure what it was about. Also, don't care. Also, weird scene where she was like, sleep on my lap. And she was like, all right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that
Also, there was a naked child. I remember that. There was a naked child. And that's it. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Your turn.
Yeah, this show. I was admittedly interested in this show. I feel like I always have that one show.
You're so weird about shows that are like pretty looking but also terrible. You're like, it's pretty, so maybe it'll be good. Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm so weird about like, I don't know what made me think that this would be good, but it was terrible. Also, like, the picture lied because it was so cheap looking, by the way.
It's super cheap looking, right?
The animation was so cheap.
It looks all steampunky in the picture, but it's not.
Not at all. Yeah, no, okay. So, yeah, super cheap looking. Hated the main character so much. He was super annoying. And, yeah, like, his stupid OP ability to, like, fix her when... No. He couldn't even fix.
It's like not as bad Handshakers. Kid with gears. Oh
god, it is. It's like Handshaker War flashback. Oh my god. Yeah, he was just like so annoying, and like, yeah. Then the contract thing was so weird, and like, and of course, like when she like opened from, like, when he had to like open her up to fix her, she like opens up from her boobs, and I was like, of course. Yeah, and like, it just was really, it was a lot pervier than I was expecting it to be, and it wasn't very good. And it was definitely something I'm not watching because I was like, nope.
That's okay, because the next show is great, I guess. Speaking of pervy.
No. Why would you say that? Oh my god, okay.
Because it's your turn to talk about it.
I know. Speaking of pervy, so the next show is Eromanga Sensei, which I believe is created by the same person who did Oreimo.
That's right.
If that puts that in perspective for you, okay. So, like, I hate brother-sister things, like, a lot. In general, I don't like sibling.
I don't like siblings.
No, that's it. I like siblings.
Shout out to your siblings.
Shout out to my brother. No, I like my brother a lot. He's great. But, like, no, I don't like when they sort of, like, fetishize siblings is what I was trying to say. Yeah. Which this show 100% does that. Like, I hate that brother-sister style show. Like, oh god, this super felt this way. It felt like a mix of like crappy brother sister stuff and like that neat thing that's been popular because of like Umaru-chan. Yeah, it felt like a mix between the two, because it's like, here's this like pervy little sister who's drawing. You find, because like, I mean, in the first episode you find out basically, yeah, just to say what it's about, like, sorry, I was going into my review before I said what it was actually about. Basically, it's about the brother and the sister. Like, they live together. Their parents got married, so I don't think they're like actually brother and sister. They're
stepbrother and sister.
They're stepbrother and sister. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. And the guy is a light novelist, and the girl draws for his light novel, but she doesn't know that it's his, and he doesn't know that she's his artist or whatever. And she draws all these like porny, like hentai pictures of the characters on, like, live streams and stuff like that. And he, like, figures it out that, like, she's the one who's drawing his stuff. And, like, I don't know, like, she doesn't come out, and it takes forever because she doesn't come out of her room at first. And then, like, they have this, like, realization. And I'm just like, ugh, I'm so tired of both of these tropes, the brother and the sister one, and that sort of, like, shut-in girl trope. And it's just, like, it always seems so, like, both things seem sexualized in a weird way, and I just hate it so much. And it was too bad, because, like, the animation in this was very nice. Like, the production quality was really good. Oh my god, it was just really painful for me to watch, because I hate both of those tropes so much. So, I, like, in my notes, I was like, oh my god, leave your room, you lazy bitch. That's what I wrote.
Get your own food.
Get your own food. And, like, oh my god, I was like, it just makes me so mad. Because she was basically just, like, looking for attention. Like, that was, like, the whole thing. It was like the epitome of people on the internet that I despise, like, was this show. So, I really disliked this, and I'm not watching it. So, Spiral, your thoughts?
You know, from a show that's called Eromanga Sensei, I expected much worse. But you know what? It wasn't bad, to be honest. If you knew it was by the Oremo person or whatever, then you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what it's gonna be. So having that in mind, I was like, whatever. So I didn't really care. I was like, yeah, all right. She took a picture of her butt for reference. That's fine. Whatever.
I forgot about that part. Oh no.
He was like, yeah, it's okay. She's just forgot to turn off the live stream. Whatever. Go change. Do it. And I'm like, whatever. But, you know, I like that scene at the end where they're just talking and just being normal siblings. That's nice. Like, and she's, like, talking about that she likes to draw and it's her dream and stuff. That's cute. I appreciate that. Then he's like, what, you come outside forever? And she's like, no, you have crossed the line. You get out. And I'm like, okay, then. I guess he crossed the line by asking her to be a normal person who comes out of her room and gets her own damn food. But whatever, that's fine. It wasn't bad. It was just predictable and stupid.
Infuriating.
So if it's guilty of being a weird incest fest, then props to them. Like, good for you. 5 out of 10. Probably won't watch again.
Oh my god, would never watch again. I'm, like, very adamant about these type of shows.
I know you are. I feel like I'm more forgiving because I'm like, yeah, whatever. I've seen it all before.
I feel like you're just more forgiving in general.
I am, yeah.
But then I end up watching a lot more weird stuff sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm more forgiving, but then I'm, like, really lazy, so I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like and then sometimes I watch stuff and you're like, what? So
we'll get to those.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. We've got plenty of stuff later that you can say what about, so that I'm watching. But I also have stuff to say about stuff you're watching, so
I know. It's fine. It's a two-way street.
It is. Okay, so let's move on to the next one that you get to talk about.
I do get to talk about it. This is Frame Arms Girls. Frame Arms Girls. I get confused by all the
I know, I get confused
for
by,
no reason. Frame Arm Girls.
Like, what is plural and what isn't plural in this?
Frame Arms Girls.
Frames.
I'll turn them into Z's so they seem cooler. But anyway, this is Poor Man's Angeliclaire. If you want to watch Angeliclaire, which is way better, then you should go watch that. Other than that, this is based on a line of figurines. And how do you make a story about model figures? I don't know, but here it is. Basically, this girl moves to an apartment, a fancy studio apartment that only Japanese school kids can afford. And she's like, man, I got a package from somewhere. It must be from my father, who coincidentally makes robots or something and is amazingly absent. Good for him. And she's like, oh man, a robot. And there's a girl there. And she's like, build me. And she's like, all right, cool. So she builds her. And she's like, man, what do you need weapons for? You're good the way you are. And she's like, I need the weapons. She's like, well, I think you're cute just the way you are. And she's like, Thanks, but weapons make me feel better. And she's like, cool. I'm gonna go to school. But then she gets another parcel. And she's like, oh man, another frame arms girls. I might put this one together too. And those two frames arms girls start fighting. And hijinks ensues. And so what do you want me to say? It's about stupid model figurines. What am I supposed to do? It's stupid. It's just about model figurines who coincidentally are all girls. Moe girls. Owned by a Moe girl. It's not... What do you want me to do?
Moe-ception.
Like it? No.
Moe-ception.
It's stupid. Like,
yeah.
Clutching at straws. Go watch Angela-Claire. It's way better.
Yeah.
The end. Your turn.
My first note for this one was, man, starting out with a panty shot, cute.
Cute.
That's what I said.
Cute!
There was just a lot of panty shots in this. And of course, with all these type of shows, when she, like, plugged her in, she was like, aha! You know, like, because...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part. Oh, I think that's what I wrote here. I wish I was dead. Yeah, that's what...
Yeah, like,
Ew.
And, like, of course, she kind of, like, doesn't understand emotion, and, like, it kind of felt like a, what's the word? Like a promotion. Shit. Well, yes.
Well, yeah, it's like Wick Sauce.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
It felt like a promotion.
Buy our stuff.
Like, buy these figurines. Yay. But, like, yay. But,
yay.
Like, I don't know. The girls just were really generic, and it was super boring. Like, I really struggled to get through this episode because it was just so boring. Like, even their fights, which happen because they, like a little field that pops up when they, like, get down, like, to fighting or whatever.
Get down.
They get down to business. No, they get down to fighting, like, this little,
to
like...
defeat the other frame arms girls.
Oh my god, don't make me laugh. Okay. So...
No.
It doesn't defeat the other frame arms girls. I don't know.
To defeat...
Frame arms girls! Ha! No, it was just really terrible. If you like fighting shows with girls and panty shots, this is probably for you. But, like, I don't know, it was just really boring. Like, all these girls just keep showing up and they're like, oh my god, here's more. And she just keeps putting them together and I'm like, okay.
She's like, well, what would happen if I created another one with guns? This can't go wrong.
Yeah, like, literally that's the entire show, is her receiving these mysterious packages, putting the figures together, and then watching them fight. That's it. That's the show. So,
yeah, pretty much. That's
not
pretty
watching.
much it. If you're into that, go watch it.
If you're not,
you'll love it.
Then, yeah. All right, so
go watch Angela-Claire.
Moving on, because that was a waste of time, that show.
What isn't?
There's some shows on here that aren't a waste of time.
Wait, when are we going to get to them?
Soon, hopefully. All right, well, I'm going to talk about the next one. Okay, so the next one is Fukumenkei Noise. It's basically about this girl who is really into singing, and she, like, goes to this new school, and she ends up finding, like, a guy that she had a childhood, like, pact with, that they were gonna, like, do music together, basically. And then, like, there's also another guy that she made a pact with, like, when she was even younger. Okay, this is, like...
Scandals!
This is part of my, like... issue with the show. Okay, so I really did not care for this. I'm not watching this, just to, like, preface this. Her singing was, like, so obnoxious. Like, at the beginning, when she's, like, on the beach and she's like, la, la, la. It reminded me of, like...
La, la.
It reminded me of, you know, that part in Nausicaa. This is, like, really...
I haven't watched Nausicaa in a very long time, so I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a part in Nausicaa where she, like, sings to the like, omu.
Oh, the worm creatures?
Yeah, the omu. And she's like, la, 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 la. And it's really bad.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, and that's what this reminded me of. That was like a really, really intense callback to like Nausicaa, like 80s Miyazaki.
Shout out to Nausicaa.
I really like Nausicaa though, like just to straight up say, I just really like that movie. But okay, like that's what this reminded me of. I'm sorry, that's what this reminded me of. So
well, now you've said it, I'm like, you're right. It does sound like that.
I know. That's exactly what it was. And she's just like, but it's almost even worse because like in Nausicaa, she's like this little girl, so it's like, all right, whatever. But this chick like thinks she's like a legit singer. She's so mad.
You're sincerely from a legit singer.
I know, like, oh my god. And, like, I don't understand why she wears a mask, so that's the thing. Like, the designs really threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like the designs very much. I felt like I should like her, like, because she's the main character, but I was really just annoyed. And I got really confused because at first she's, like, all about this guy that she, like, made the promise with on the beach. Like, she's like, oh my god, he's here. I'm so excited he's here. She, like, watches the band play, and she's like, it's him. Oh my god. And then, all of a sudden, like, after she talks with him, like, halfway through the episode, towards the end, she's like, but wait, what about this other guy? And I was like, what? But you were so obsessed with that one guy. Like, all of a sudden, this other guy just came out of nowhere. And, oh my god, it just, like, felt like she was, like, all over the place. I was like, make up your mind. Oh my god, she annoyed me so much. So, yeah. And, like, honestly, this is the type of show I feel like I should like, because I love music stuff. And I love, like, I do like romantic comedy, I guess you could call this. Like, where it's like, oh, like, who's she gonna pick? You know what I mean? Like, I like that stuff. But this was just not for me. I found it was, like, all over the place and really rushed. And, like, I just didn't like how they introed the characters. Like, I thought they didn't do a very good job with it. So, what did you think? Because I know that you have a different opinion than I do.
I mean, I can't talk about the things that bother me about the show because that's, like, past episode 1. But anyway.
Well, you could say, like, a couple episodes, because I feel like at this point...
No, I'm good. Let's just say stuff happens and it's lame. But anyway. But yeah, the show's very melodramatic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's every single, like, shoujo trope. Like, every like, outing they take, they're like, oh, yeah, this thing happens, and I bet she's gonna react this way. She sure did. Cool. And then, because he's like, I feel this way about blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm never going to sing again. And I'm like, oh, good. Good thing this is a singing show, then. Good thing.
Good.
But yeah, it wouldn't bother me so much if she wasn't a terrible singer. She's not terrible. Okay, she's not terrible. She just needs to be a stronger singer for this genre of music that they're showcasing in this show. Because it's all very heavy rock. Like,
she sounded
stuff,
okay with music behind her in that first episode. It was just that acapella stuff that I was just like, please stop.
The acapella stuff gets slightly better later on.
Oh, really?
It's like less harsh. Because the problem is she yells when she's like getting higher, which is... that doesn't work. But yeah. Some of the music stuff is, I feel like, it's a bit too harsh for her, but I feel like I'm on a singing show now. but yeah, it sounds a bit too harsh.
Yeah,
because it's messy and it's kind of definitely not in her style. Usually, like you can tell from listening to her, but it's interesting. It's not a good shoujo romance. Like, if you're looking for something more concise, I probably won't watch the show. But for what it is, if you know all of the tropes and you know how predictable stuff is, it's like, whatever. Let's do it. Let's play a drinking game instead.
Whatever.
That's just how I watch anime. I'm like, you know what? If it's decent-ish, fine, sure, let's do it. But that just makes me unhappy later on in life.
That's how I feel about, like, 2017 anime in general. It's like, it doesn't make me want to die, right. So okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll die. So that's pretty much my attitude.
I'll die. All right, so let's talk about the next show, which you have like an attachment to, so you get to talk about it first, too.
Oh, yeah, Granblue. Sorry, I missed that one out in my list. I was like, what? It's like, you're a liar. It was like, is that a sick joke? Anyway.
I'm not a liar. I was being very genuine.
No, I thought it was Hinako Note, and I was like, you said some kind of sick joke.
No, Hinako Note is mine to talk about.
Okay. How lucky. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, so I get to talk about Granblue. We'll get to Hinako Note, but this is Granblue time. So I have the privilege of playing the game, which is super fun. You should all play it. It's real fun. But then you realize that you're not good at the game, so then you stop, which is me also. But yeah, it's based off a phone game. It's about an adventure called Gran, but in the game you can be a girl too. But anyway, it's about Gran this time. Because obviously male protagonist, am I right? I sure hope the girl comes along too. Anyway, it's about Gran, and he meets a girl in the forest who falls from the sky because she was kidnapped by an army. But then one of the army members helped her escape. Her name is... What's her name? I don't remember her name anymore. I don't know why. Catalina!
You were so...
Her name is Catalina.
You were so, like... Her name is... What's her name?
Her name's Catalina. I was gonna say her name's Lyria, but I was like, no, that's the blue girl. Anyway, that's the girl who falls from the sky. Anyway, Lyria falls from the sky and meets Gran, and Catalina's there. And also Vern's there. He's a dragon. Anyway, so they get chased by the army. They get caught. But then the bad guy's like, it's okay, I'm gonna unrelease my dragon. But then Lyria's like, I'm gonna unleash my dragon. So she does. But then Gran gets killed. And then she's like, I'm going to make a pact with Gran so he can live. And also summon dragons with me. This works. So then they summon a dragon together, and then they kill the bad guy. Well, he doesn't die. They kill his dragon, and then he runs away. Anyway, yeah, and then Gran has to go on an adventure with these guys to, like, get himself from dying because he can't be within, like, 10 feet of her or something, or he'll die. And that's the Gran adventure. Yay! Yeah. It's a tiny bit different from the game, but that's okay. I don't technically remember Gran having to be within a certain distance from Lyria to stay alive. I'm pretty sure they were like, will you come with us, Gran? And he's like, yeah, I love adventure. Well, both options said yes, so he had to go anyway. So he's like, yeah, I'll go.
There was no
not
option to not go.
There was no option not to go in the game, so I guess... But in the series, they just made it like, you had to say yes. He's like, yeah, you have to come or else you'll die. If you go within 10 feet, like, away, you'll die. And he's like, well, I guess I don't really have a choice. I guess I have to go on the journey or I'll die. So I feel like that took away some of the magic of the friendship that they got during that scene. But yeah, they basically go on adventures, and they go and try and quell the beasts within these islands, which are the celestial beasts and whatever. Because Lyria has the power to seal them and tame them and make pacts with them and stuff. And it's real cute. That's basically the game summary.
Wow. That was very in-depth.
It was. I love Granblue. I think this anime is real cute. It's real good. Some of the animation's a little weird because it's A1 Pictures, and some of the faces look a bit janky, but that's A1 Pictures for you. The dragons look good, though. But, yeah, that's about it. If you like Granblue's game, you'll love it. Also, if you don't like Granblue's game, you'll also like this. It's pretty fun. There are some small changes, but whatever. Adventure! Your turn.
Yeah, I really liked the setting. Like, I liked the kind of, like, steampunk fantasy feel it has. I liked the music a lot, and I actually thought the animation was cool, but I mean, I only watched the first, like, I think I watched the first...
Oh, yeah, first episode animation was alright. Then later on, it's a bit...
I think I watched, like, the first 2-3 episodes of this. I watched, like, a good chunk of this, actually. And then I stopped, because I was like, eh. It kind of reminded me of, like, a less interesting fairy tale. Like, it's kind of how I felt about it. Like, I was like, I'm, like, not as into this as I would be, like, fairy tale. I, like, really like fairy tale. So I was like, this is fine. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Like, it was a maybe for me, and then I just made it a no, just because it was one of those shows where it was like, if I'm not watching a lot, like, if I don't pick up a ton of stuff, I'll watch this. But yeah. I did pick up a decent chunk of things, so I was like, whatever. I don't really, like, I kind of forgot about it, and so once I forget about a show like that, I'm kind of like, okay, I obviously don't want to watch it very much. But I mean, yeah, if you're, like, into fantasy-style stuff, adventure stuff, I thought it was, like, a pretty good show for that kind of stuff, especially with the sort of, like, airship steampunk thing that has going on, too. Mm-hmm. Like, it was kind of different in that way. And if you like
Set sail on the Grand Cipher.
Yeah, and if you like the game, then it's obviously for you, as Spiral was, like, saying, so... Yeah, I mean, I'm not watching it, but I don't think it was bad. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's a good adaptation from the game. So
that's nice, because I feel like they don't always do a good job with these kind of things, so that was cool that they did, like, a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on to talk about Spiral's favorite show.
Okay, now it's a sick joke. Okay.
Now it's a sick joke. Yeah, so Hinako Note. Okay, so Hinako Note is like my weird show this season. Okay, so basically the story is about a girl from the country who wants to improve her social skills, basically. So she decides to go to high school in Japan, and she wants to be a part of the theater club so she can, like, practice, like, performing in front of people. And she moves into, like, this dorm place that's basically like it's like a cafe bookstore, and, like, a small group of girls, like, live in this like, housing place, and they are all gonna do theater together. I went into this thinking I was going to hate it, because it's that typical, like, moe, cute, boring, nothing happens show. But I actually really enjoyed it. Well, my first note was, is this Lucky Star? Because it has, like, a very similar feel to Lucky Star at the beginning.
It basically has a character that looks like Konata. I'm like,
yeah, she does. Yeah, she really, really does. But the main girl is, like, so cute. Like, I don't know. I really respect her for, like, conquering her fears and just moving to
following her acting dreams.
Yeah, I guess that's why I like it. Like a young
actress probably in this call.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's why I like it, because she moves to the city to, like, follow her dreams, and, like, she's also, like,
it's a story about you.
It is. And it's also, like, her trying to better herself. Which
it's
I think
a story about you.
Which is, like, it all makes sense now. I was like, why did I like this show? And now that we're discussing it, I understand why I like this show.
Everything is clear now.
Everything is clear now. Also, it's really funny. Like, there's, like, the part where she gets there and the girl who looks like the Lucky Star girl, like, she's, like, eating the book. Like, she's, like, eating paper out of the book.
You know, like you do.
Yeah, like you do. And, like, the main girl, like, Hinako's, like, she's like, what are you doing? Like, whatever. And the girl says something about the books being her friends or something. And she's like, why are you eating your friends? And, like, it's like, really endearingly funny. And it was really cute. And I like that they're, like, into theater and stuff. And this rival girl shows up later, and she's really funny. And, yeah, they're just, like, trying to do theater together. And, like, the main girl is, like, working really hard, and I think it's, like, really cute. In the last episode, like, the one that came out last week, because I think one just came out today, it got a little, like, pervy out of nowhere, which was really weird, because, like, up until this moment, it had been, like, very tame and just, like, cute. And so I was like, where is this coming from? And I didn't like that so much, so I hope that it doesn't, like, keep doing that, because I liked it more as, like, these girls are friends, and, like, slice of life theater troupe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. But yeah, I don't, and in my notes I was like, why did I like this? But I think it makes sense to me now why I liked it. And yes, I am watching this. And overall, I'm enjoying it. Even the last episode that did get a little, like, pervy, I still like the characters and I like what they're doing. So it didn't make me go like, oh my god, I can't possibly watch this now. But it was a little, like, off-putting, because it was surprising based on how the rest of the show had gone. I know you had a very different opinion about this one.
It's just a moe show. It's just tiny girls doing tiny things very slowly.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do something. Like, half the episode is just her having tea in the cafe, and then they're like, let's go for a walk. And she's like, cool. They go for a very slow walk. And then he's like, what's that in the distance? Oh, it's probably nothing. wait, it's a theater thing. And she's like, I want to join the theater. And then they meet this other senpai. And she's alright, I guess. And that's it. That's all that happened in episode 1.
To be fair, she moved to Japan to do the theater thing. So,
okay.
It wasn't like she saw theater and then was like, I want to do that. She, like, purposely moved there to do theater.
Okay. Well, it was really slow to get to that point.
Yeah, it is. I will say it is a slow burn. Like, they started doing theater stuff in, like, episode 3 or 4. Like
3 or 4.
Yeah, it took a while to, like, get them to, like, the club part of things, because it, like, was them going to school and stuff, and her, like, dealing with having to talk in school, because she's just really bad at, like, talking to people, which is really interesting, and, like, they handle it in a really interesting way. So I thought that was kind of cool, actually. But yeah, it is slow.
It's so slow.
So,
but you know what? If you're into that moe slow stuff, do it.
I'm really, really not. Like, any other show like this, I would not have done it. I think it's just because, like, I don't know. I guess it's, like, the theater thing, and, like, just the main girl really hooked me, I guess. Because this really isn't. I mean, you can attest to this, too. This really isn't the type of thing that I would watch normally.
No.
Yeah. No. It's weird, but I really like it.
Yeah.
So, let's go to the next one, Spiral.
I keep getting these ones that I don't know what they're about. But anyway, this is called ID 0, I guess. It's about robots, I guess. This girl goes into a simulation which isn't real, but is actually real. Like, she goes into a pod that allows her to control a robot from another plane, I guess. Then she meets this group of thieves or something who are also robots.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Like,
if you die in the simulation, you don't die in real life. You just get thrown out of the pod, I guess. But then she doesn't die in the simulation, so she's stuck in her pod. And she's like, someone, no, please, help. So she's just kind of taken on by these, like, thieves or whatever. Space pirates. Space pirate robots. She joins their gang of space pirate robots. And she somehow gets onto their ship in real life. Her pod does anyway, so she gets out of her robot simulation and she's actually human again. And she's basically a space pirate now. She needs to get back home to her, like, space station or something, but they won't take her back unless she helps them mine some kind of precious element or rock or something. I'm gonna say it's space gold. It's red, though. But yeah, they want that. The space pirates, they want the space gold, but they don't know how to find it or harvest it. But she's like, I know exactly where it is. So she helps them find it. And I guess it's about her trying to get home and them screwing her over. But I don't know what the show's about. I'm just reading what it says on the thing. But I don't know. That's what it's about. I don't know how to feel. I don't remember anything about it. It was just very there. It was there. It was a thing that happened. I don't understand what happened or why it was happening, but it happened. I appreciate it exists, but I don't remember what it was about. But there you go. That's just life. Sometimes you just don't remember everything in life, and that's okay.
Yep.
Rochelle?
You were like, you sounded scared. You were like, Rochelle, please save me. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Help?
Help? Question mark? Yeah. So this show was interesting. I don't know. I'm into, like, space dramas, so I was...
You're into mechas, though.
I am.
Space drama, mecha.
Well, sometimes you can have a space drama.
Another word for space drama is mecha.
Sometimes you could have, like, a space show that doesn't have mecha in it.
Please show me one.
Give me a moment and I'll come up with it. There was that space pirate show and they had a ship, but there was no, like, mechs. Okay, anyway, moving on. So, that's a discussion for another day.
Okay.
We could do, like, a podcast just on space shows that don't have mechs in them.
Why would that be a thing people are interested in?
I don't know. Space drama. So, okay.
Space drama.
So, yeah, so she's, like, in this robot or whatever, and, like, they're, like, excavating for this mineral, and then, yeah, they find these, like, pirates. I don't know, like, I really wanted to like this show because it is stuff that I would normally like, but I just didn't. Like, the main girl was super annoying to me. Like, I found her to be, like, really obnoxious. Because, like, the whole time she's, like, kind of scared, even though it's something that she, like, wants to be doing. And I was sort of like, well, why are you scared? Like, this is clearly something you knew you'd have to do if you, like, were gonna go into this, like, field of excavating, like, space rock or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Apparently she's, like, really exceptional in her field as well. So I'm
so I'm like,
if you're really good, then how did you not know you were gonna do this?
Exactly. So I'm like, okay. And, like, I kind of thought it was boring for, like, a show that takes place in space that should be about this, like, really cool thing. It was pretty boring. And, like, I, like, didn't care about her at all. So, like, her conflict about not being able to get out of the suit and then, like, ending up on this other ship and them trying to help her, I was just like, whatever, because, like, I just didn't care.
Whatever, die then.
Whatever. Yeah, I just didn't care. Just kind of, like, threw me off as, like, I was, like, really looking forward to it, and then I was like, oh. I actually was kind of confused, too, because when I first saw it, I thought maybe it was going to be more of a kid's show, because it kind of has that look a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely not a kid's show. Like, it was a lot more mature than I was expecting when I went into it, but it also was not for me. Like, it just didn't grab me. So I think this was a no from both of us.
It is. Probably.
Also, I wrote, what is this ending song? And I don't remember what the ending song is, but now I'm like, what was the ending song that made me, like, what was so weird about the ending song that made me write that? What was so weird about the ending song that it was weirder than Attack on Titan 2's ending?
Well, that's a question for another day.
I know.
After the podcast, probably.
I know. Yeah. Oh, I guess I also was, like, frustrated that they were robots, too. Like, I'd rather them have been, like, an actual mechs, like, as opposed to, like, these weird... I don't know. That was a cool thing. Like, it was unique. It was different than stuff I've seen, because most stuff like this has them piloting the mechs or whatever, so...
I guess they are technically piloting them, just it's not inside.
Yeah, so that was kind of different and cool, but I don't know. This just was not for me.
It's like Avatar, but with robots.
Avatar. Oh, wait, like
the blue Avatar.
The blue Avatar? I was like, wait a minute. I was like...
not Airbender Avatar, blue Avatar.
I was like, I guess I forget that blue Avatar exists a little bit at this point.
I think everyone does.
So, not Disney World. They don't forget. Okay, so moving on to the next show, Kabukibu. I love Kabukibu.
Your turn.
I'm really sad that you don't like Kabukibu, that you didn't... Okay, sorry.
I didn't hate Kabukibu, but anyway.
Okay, so Kabukibu is basically exactly what you think it is. It is literally about a kid...
Scary Kabuki.
He is just, like, real extra about Kabuki. Like, he just, like, really likes Kabuki. And he wants to make a club, but they're like, oh, you don't have a club, so you have to, like, make a group instead. Because, like, he has to, like, go through all these, like... motions basically. So the show so far has just been about like him trying to gather members for this club, and like of course there's like the guy who like does kabuki for real, and he's like, kabuki is serious, why would you make a club?
Kabuki
that's
is
for
my passion.
Fun? Like, why would you make kabuki fun? Like, you know, like that kind of stuff. Like that's like his character. He's like kabuki is serious, not fun. Like that's like his whole character. And like the main guy is like, but please just do kabuki with us, wee! Like he's just like, I don't know, he's so cute, and like as I said, he's just like real extra about kabuki. He's just like, he loves it so much, and it's really cute. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just really like watching shows where people are really passionate about something, especially when it's like theater-y kind of stuff. I find kabuki like a fascinating form of theater, so I like am into the show because I think it gets to like show stuff you don't see in anime normally. So I thought that was cool. It's kind of like a combination of Japanese art, like in an interesting culture clash. So and I just really like the characters. Like I really like the main kid and his, like, best friend, who, like, I don't think he cares about Kabuki all that much, but he really cares about the main guy, so it's, like, really cute. Like, he just wants to help him. And I just really like the cast of characters, like, a lot. I like the girl, like, that trope where it's, like, the girl who, like, looks more masculine.
The manager?
No, she's, like, one of the people in the thing. She, like...
Actually, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, she
Does she do costumes and stuff?
She performs, like, with them and stuff like that. Like,
oh, that's cute. I thought she was just a manager.
There's two girls. There's one that is, like, kind of like, she does all the costuming. There's a girl that does all the costuming, which actually, she's the one thing I don't like about the show, because they keep calling her fat because she has, like, a round face. And I'm like, but she's not fat. She just has, like, a slightly rounder face. Whatever. But she does all their costume stuff. But there's another girl who, like, she's, like, kind of more masculine, and she, like, actually performs and stuff like that with them and stuff like that. So she's
Is that the one you see in the first episode?
Yeah, the, like, tall blonde girl.
Ah, she was cute.
Yeah, she's really cute. So, yeah, it's cool. Like, and, like, the other characters are really funny. Like, there's the guy who, like, really likes music, but he, like, sucks at it. And he's, like, and he, like, has this, like, alternate name because he's, like, really, like, he, like,
extra.
He thinks he's, like, really edgelord, but he's just not. And it's, like, it's just, like, really harmless and cute. Like, I don't know. It's just really fun to watch. And I just really like watching people be passionate about stuff, so I'm into it.
Good.
So, I am watching Kabukibu.
Good.
Your thoughts?
I'm not watching Kabukibu.
I'm so sad. I thought you would, because it's, like, kind of like a you show, like boys being cute. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I also like shows about kids being passionate about stuff and just about clubs in general. I like that kind of stuff. But I'm not interested in Kabuki just as a subject. I'm just not. I don't get it. It looks interesting, like, as a concept, but I feel like I don't know enough about it to really get into it. To me, it's really strange and, like... Well, no, Kabuki itself isn't strange, but I think it's strange me watching it, because I'm like, I just don't understand what's happening. Like, when I'm watching them perform, I'm like, I don't understand why this is good Kabuki and why that's not good Kabuki. I'm not sure. I don't understand the difference, so I can't appreciate the details and everything that's going into it, and I'm like, it's wasted on me. I'm sure it's a good show if you're really interested in Kabuki and, like, all the subject stuff around it, but I just don't understand it, so I just didn't enjoy it as much. Because do you know a lot about Kabuki?
Not, like, a ton. I mean, like, I studied it a little bit when I took some classes in college, because I took, like, Japanese culture classes, plus I did, like, all this theater stuff, so we did look at different types of Japanese theater. So I know, like...
Okay, because I know zero about Kabuki.
Okay, yeah, I know, like, a base amount of what it is and stuff, so I know, like, kind of generally a little bit. And I'm interested in it, so I think that helps me.
Okay, I feel like that gives you an advantage over me in enjoying it. Yeah. I feel like that's a big thing for me. Like, I couldn't understand what it was about, so I didn't get into the excitement about the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was clear he really liked it, but I didn't understand what it was. I couldn't really relate, I guess, is a good way of putting it, or at least the way I'm going to describe it. So, it's sad, but I would have probably liked it if I was more tolerable to learn about Kabuki, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just not something you're interested in, then I would understand why it's just like...
Yeah, I feel like if I had time to actually think about what Kabuki is actually about, then I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Thanks for understanding.
Okay.
Okay.
So, moving on to the next show. You get to talk about this, and I'm jealous.
I do.
It's the best one.
Well, you get to talk about the next one.
Yeah.
It works. Luck of the draw.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. My show is the Royal Tutor Show. Haine. It is about a royal tutor. His name is Haine, and he goes to the royal palace, and he is going to tutor his 4 sons, because his oldest son, who is to inherit the throne, may one day die, maybe, kinda. So, just in case, I'm gonna make sure all my other sons are just as good as him. So, that's basically the plot. It's him interacting with the princes and just trying to get to know them and just trying to make them proper for the throne. And it's a really fun show. They're all good characters. I like the show is also a good cast of newer actors, which is good, because I really like Seiyu, and I'm really into that. So I like seeing new names and new talents, and there's a lot of them in this show. So, yay! A+. It's real fun. Also, Aoi Shota's there,
Yeah,
showing
I was
them
gonna say,
all that he's
it's
way
like-
better than all of them.
It's like all of them are new except for Aoi Shota.
Yeah, he's like clearly the best of
He
them
is.
all. But
Yeah, especially in the last episode. I don't know if you watched the latest one, but
I haven't watched the latest one yet, but I
It was
always
real good.
notice it in the songs, because the songs are performed by them.
Yeah.
And he's like really passionate and obviously a professional singer.
Yes.
And does this a lot. And it's just basically Aoi Shota and the 4 backing singers.
He's like his own little band now.
He's good. I like him. But
Me too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like high on my list. He plays like 2 of my favorite characters in other idol shows. So I'm about him. I am about
All about him. But yeah, it's
Um,
super fun. It's a super fun show. It's really funny and it's really cute. And I look forward to it every week. And so does Rachelle, who is now going to talk about it.
I do. Oh my gosh. I went into this not expecting to like it at all. I was like, this looks like a silly thing. Okay. And then, like, watching the first episode, I was just like, oh my gosh, it is so funny. It's hilarious, and I love all the, like, it's also really cute. Like, it's just really feel good and, like, cute, and it makes me smile. And, like, I've gotten, like, choked up a little bit because, like, the family relationship is, like, really nice in some places.
I really like stupid family stuff, too.
Yeah. This is the kind of, like, family brothers stuff that I do like, because it's less, like, oh my god, like, they're, like, in love with each other. It's just, like, they're family, and they, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, touching. It's not, like, fetishized, I guess, if that makes sense. Though I will admit, when I first went into this show, I was like, is this like a yaoi otome? Because I was like, I just like didn't know what to expect, really. And it's like this tutor shows up, and it's like this guy, and then there's like these 4 pretty boys, and I was like, is this like a, like, I was like, what is this? It's not that at all. Like, I don't get that feeling from, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that super do feel that way.
I'm sure
about
there are
this.
people who are like, oh man, edgelord Negi Springfield here with all
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are probably people that ship things that I don't want to think about in this show.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I
Best
really
not to think about any of that.
like any of all that, like that stuff, I just think it's a great watch. Like, it's just really endearing, and like a lot of the episodes make you feel really good because it's just like, aw. I don't know. I like this. This is probably one of my favorite things that I'm watching this season, besides one other show. Like, this is definitely one of my favorite things. It's so good.
Yes.
And, like, really unexpected. But, like, this was actually the first one that I just, like, picked up immediately. Like, after the first episode, I was like, yes. Like, it wasn't even a maybe. It was just like, this is amazing, and I love it. So,
Yeah, this was my favorite first pickup as well.
yeah, it was just an automatic yes. It was so good. It was so good.
It was real good.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. I'm frustrated. This is, like, the one show that I'm, like, frustrated. Okay. So, this is Recreators is next. The plot of Recreators is basically characters from, like, anime, video games, manga are coming into our world, like the real world. And they're, like, meeting their creators, I guess, is the... See, this is my issue with it. There's like 5 episodes out right now, and I'm still not fully clear like what this show is about. It's not bad. Like, I'm really enjoying watching it because I am watching this. I did like pick it up. I love the concept because like the way that the characters talk and act is that like the creators are their gods, and that is kind of how it is. Like, when you're writing or creating a show or a video game or something, you are the god of that world in a way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I love that concept. And like, there's like this girl that's like fighting. I think she's gonna fight to like destroy our world or something. Like, I don't really know. There was an interesting twist at the end of the last episode. So I am feeling like optimistic. And it is a longer show. I think it's gonna be like 22 episodes or something like that. So I have a feeling that it's just kind of slow burn right now. Because right now, like, they're sort of introducing all the characters. They're like, oh man, this character from this story. And all the characters are like, what am I doing in this world? You know what I mean? Because it's sort of like confusing. And they're all kind of getting used to the fact that they're characters. And like, they had a scene early on where they were trying to show, like, they were trying to see that if, like, the creator changed stuff, if it would change, like, the personality. So that was really interesting. There's a lot of really interesting stuff going on in this show. The music is really good because Sawano, like, whatever.
Sawano.
They're, like, my favorite. And the animation is good. I'm pretty sure it's made by the same people who made All Noah Zero. So I'm feeling a little, like, skeptical because I, on the one hand, loved some of All Noah Zero, and then towards the end it went way downhill. But I have faith that it might still be good. I like that there's, like, a combination of all different genres, because there's, like, a magical girl character, there's, like, a video game fantasy girl, and there's, like, a mecha guy. So, like, there's, like, a lot of different stuff going on. I have faith that it's gonna pan out to be good, but it is kind of slow burning right now. But I am watching it, and I don't think it's bad. I just am sort of like, I'm not sure where it's going. I'm very, like, tentative about it. As Spiral likes to say, like, every season I feel like, at least for me, I always have a show that I get to, like, episode 5 and 6, and I'm still like, I don't know about this one, but I'm still going. So, and I feel
like keep watching. You're like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. You get to the end, you're like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah,
it's over, Rachelle.
I think that's kind of Recreators for me right now. Is I'm just sort of like, I don't know about this one, but
right.
But it is.
You just get to the end though, and you're just like, I'm still not sure.
I know. That's usually what happens. I'm like, I don't know what happened, and I don't know if I like it, but it happened. So
I guess I'm here now.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about this? I'm actually really interested in your thoughts, because I don't think we really talked about this one much.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pick this one up because, in a way, I feel like I missed out. But at the same time, I'm like, no, something about it hit me the wrong way, and I don't know exactly what it was, but something in the first episode just, like, hinged towards me that it wasn't gonna end well. I don't know what it was, but I thought I'd follow my instincts, because the last time someone told me not to follow my instincts, I watched Bungo Stray Dogs, so I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not listening to other people. You were wrong.
Was that me that told
and
you?
Yeah. Huh?
Was that me that told you to watch Bungo?
I forgot who it was. It was either you or someone else. Someone said, "Oh, you should watch it. You should watch it." I'm like,
I think I know. I think I said I was gonna watch it, but I don't remember, like, pressuring you into watching it.
I feel like it wasn't really. No. I feel like that's just what I hear.
No, if Recreators is not the show that I would pressure you to watch that you are not watching this season.
No,
but
yeah,
we'll talk
I feel like
later.
That was the last time I remember with Bungo Stray Dogs, where I wasn't sure after the first episode, and I thought, and other people were really enjoying it, and I was like, I'll just, like, push through. And I watched Bungo Stray Dogs, and it was awful. And I'm like, you know what? This gave me the same feeling, so I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm listening to my instincts. I don't know what it was. There was something in the first episode that made me not like something about it. It was hard to explain.
I mean, it is very bizarre. It's a very bizarre show.
Yeah, I enjoyed the concept of it, though. Like, the concept itself is really interesting, and I like the main character. He's really cool. And also voiced by Daiki, who I really love. And
your son.
I don't know. And my son. My voice actor son. He voices all of my sons.
He really does.
He really does. But yeah, I feel like that's just, like, me comparing them all together. I'm like, he has the voice of my son, which means this guy is also my son now. I don't make the rules. I'm like, you do make the rules, though. You can adopt whoever you want. But anyway, I don't know. Recreators is strange, and I don't know why I didn't like it, but I feel like the concept and art style is worth giving it a go if you're really into it. So follow your instincts is what I'll tell you.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be an interesting one to talk about.
I'm really interested in how it goes, though. Like, I don't want to watch it myself, but I'm interested in where it goes.
Yeah, I am also interested to see where it ends. So I'm like,
tell me about it.
I shall. Would you like to tell us about the next show?
I will. It's Renai Boukun, which is, I'm guessing this is, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's about it's about a magical book that falls from the Death Note. This is the Kiss Note.
Basically,
a demon girl comes along and she's like, "You need to help me. I wrote your name in the Kiss Note, and you need to kiss someone." Blah blah blah. and somehow he ends up being able to use the kiss note. So whoever's names your ship, basically your ship, gets put into this book, then they have to kiss, or else something happens. Like if they don't kiss, then something bad happens. Bad happens, I think. Something bad happens if they don't kiss, according to the book. I don't know. I think they're cursed forever, or they never get to fall in love ever, or something like that. But yeah, he gets paired with a yandere girl who he likes initially, just from like a distance, but then realizes that she really likes him, and it's bad. So they get paired together, and then for some reason a little sister comes along, and they get paired together, and everyone gets paired together into a love octagon, I guess. And that's just basically the show. It's shipping the show, basically. But I don't understand why. But it wasn't terrible. It was entertaining. There was a lot of fan service. But it was endless. Like, everything kept going. It felt like the longest episode ever. But yeah, I feel like the joke was clear from the beginning, and then by the halfway point, I was like, you know what? I get the joke. I get it. You need another joke. You need another joke to keep going. You can't just keep using this one joke. You need another one. But they never did get another one. They just kept using the same one joke forever. And that was too bad. Because I feel like that's a really fun idea, the kiss note. Shipping the show. But it's basically poor man's Yamada-kun, basically. Oh, Yamada-kun's a way better show.
It really was poor man's Yamada-kun.
Yeah, if you want a better show about kissing, go watch Yamada-kun.
Yes.
The end.
God.
Your turn.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
No.
I really hated the show. Like, this is up there for, like, one of my most disliked shows of this season. It looked so cheap, and at the beginning, like, there's literally no, like, build-up. Like, the first moment is, like, him opening the door, and this girl's like, oh my god, I'm here with this kiss note, and you're like, alright then. Like, it just literally throws you into it, and I get that it's probably supposed to be, like, kind of parody-y.
It's definitely a parody.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, it's totally supposed to be a parody, but, like, I don't know. I just hated the pacing so much. I hated the yandere girl. I hate yanderes. That's like a trope that this whole like episode has just been me like, I hate this trope. I hate that trope.
Look at these tropes Rachelle hates.
That I hate. I just hate a lot of tropes. I mean, there's some tropes that I like, but
okay.
I don't like yanderes. Like, I really don't. I just don't like that. And then there was also this girl who was like into her sister or whatever. So, like, that was two tropes right there that I was like, nope. And, like, I don't know, this was another one of those situations where, like, because it's, like, harem-y, you know, with, like, the main guy. And this was another one of those situations where I just don't understand why all these girls like this guy. Like, there are some harem shows that I've watched where I've been okay with it because I understand why, like, all these girls fall for the guy that, like, the harem is happening around or whatever. Because it's like, oh, like, he's a nice person and he, like, really cares about them and, like, he just, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you find those harems where you get that. But then you find these harems like this one where it's just, like, this generic protagonist. And I'm like, this is so, I don't know. I just hate that kind of stuff, too. I wrote in my notes, this is literal garbage.
Literal garbage?
It is literal garbage. This is literal garbage. No intro to any characters. What is this cat? I hate yanderes. This is trash. Incest. Disgusting. No. Those are literally my notes. So, if that doesn't tell you how I felt about this show, nothing will. So, yeah, I was not a fan of this show. No. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Moving on. Moving on is right, and I'm angry about moving on because I don't want to talk about this show because I'm angry about it, but here we are. Rokudenashi Majutsu Koushi to Kinki Kyouten, which is like
good.
Yeah, that was pretty, whatever. So this show is about a guy who is going to be like a substitute teacher for this class at this magic school. He basically, like, doesn't care about teaching them at all. And it's that trope. Well, here we go, talking about tropes again. It's the trope where, like, he acts really lazy and kind of casual, but really he's, like, really good at magic. You know what I mean? Because, like, in the first episode, I ended up watching a second episode of this. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. Because I was, like, vaguely curious. Mostly because, like, not gonna lie, I thought the main guy was hot. Like, just straight up, I was like, he's attractive.
Just straight up.
I'm just, like, there's, like, no shame. I'm just gonna straight up admit it. I thought the main guy was attractive, so I maybe watched the second episode. So I watched the second episode. But, so, like, yeah, in the first one, they kind of make it seem like he actually sucks at magic. Because he's, like, they're like, why are you here? But then, like, in the second episode, they kind of reveal that he's actually, like, amazing at magic. And he has all these, like, ways to make stuff better and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Then why did he lie?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It doesn't, like, make any sense. And there was this cool thing with this, like, girl at the end, like, where I think she's, like, a princess or something like that. So, like, it wasn't terrible after the second episode. Like, after the second episode, I was like, okay, like, if, like, I'd maybe watch this if I wasn't watching a ton of stuff. But I'm watching so much. And it just didn't grab me. It really bothers me that their uniforms are like that. Like, they have, like, those weird...
Oh, yeah, the uniforms are awful.
Like, their weird suspenders or whatever. I'm like, no. It felt really cheap. And it was really too bad because I remember, like, a year ago when they first announced this show, there was, like, that cool picture of him, like, walking down the hallway, and you saw his back with, like, the book in his hand. And both of us were like, oh, man, this show looks kind of interesting because it was all about, like, fantasy and stuff. Yeah. But it's not. It's really cheap looking. I think it's going to be kind of harem-y because, like, there's, like, all these girls in the class and stuff, and they all seem to like him. I don't know. He's also really annoying. Like, he's hot, but he's pretty annoying. And, like, especially in the second episode, like, it didn't really get very better. I don't know.
Very better.
It didn't get very much better. Very much better. Yeah. So, I don't know. It felt very typical. Like, I thought it was going to be something more unique, and it was just pretty generic, so.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to go back to it if people were like, no, it legit gets really good. But I haven't heard anybody talking about this show, so I haven't
heard anyone talk about any anime this season, to be honest, other than Bokuaka.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I don't think I've heard anybody... Like, people aren't even really talking about SNK either, which is weird, because I assumed people would kind of like...
That's a testament to this season.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. People haven't really been talking about much except for Bokuaka, so... What were your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, pretty much the same, just typical harem kind of feel to it, and I just don't have time for that kind of stuff. Like, I do appreciate that the second episode was probably better.
It was. It was. But it wasn't
Okay,
it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It wasn't, like, better enough to be worth it, if that makes sense.
Okay. That's fine. Well, anyway, I like that there was a twist, but then that means the first episode was a waste of time.
It was.
But whatever. You pretty much negated your first episode. I feel like it would have been better just to slice those two into one instead of leaving out on a really uninteresting first episode. But that's just my opinion. You can make your anime however you want. But yeah, it's lame. I didn't like it. I feel like I would rather watch something better. So I did. And I didn't watch this show. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yep. That's kind of how I felt too. I was like, this isn't the worst thing ever, but it's not good.
It's not the worst thing in the... Like, if someone said, go watch more of the show, I'd be like, all right. Like, it's not going to cause me any pain. It's, like, fine. But at the same time, why?
Yeah.
Why would you set up your show like that?
Yep. Would you like to talk about the next one?
Why are you testing your audience to come back for a second episode?
Yeah, I hate that.
Make a good first episode.
Yeah, it was definitely a poor first episode. Like, the second one was definitely more interesting. But, again, not enough to, like, legit grab me.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about the next one?
Oh, man, Sagrada Reset? Sure would.
Sure would. That sounded, like, painful. Like, you were like, sure would.
Sagrada Reset. I mean, it's, like, different on my list, because I'm like, it's also called Sagrada Reset as well, but Sagrada Reset is what it is on this. But yeah, the town is called Sakurada, which I guess is what's confusing about it.
I know.
But basically, this town has all these people who have special powers, basically. They have some kind of special power when they're born, and then eventually it goes away, or something like that. That kind of spiel. But, yeah, these two kids, in general, have powers that can complement each other, basically. So one girl has the power to reset time, but there are certain rules to her, like, resetting power. And the guy has the power to remember stuff, I guess. He can remember stuff that happens within a certain time frame or something like that. He can remember anything he sees, hears, or whatever. So when she turns back time, he can still remember that she turned back time and everything. So that's how they complement each other, and they basically become friends, I guess. And I guess they start a club and stuff, but that's not until later on, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's, like, more interesting stuff that comes along, but there's something about the show that's really lame. It's, like, poor man's Charlotte. I've been comparing all these shows in this list to a better show, and I really do want you to watch better shows. Charlotte itself isn't much better, but you should watch Charlotte over this.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna choose one, Charlotte's a better show.
I would choose Charlotte over this, because Charlotte at least has a character to it. These characters have no life in them. They don't emote.
So boring.
There's, like, a scene where he's like, hey, how are you? Fine. I'm like, why did you pause for that long? Like,
I actually just got confused. I was like, is she, like, pausing for
see,
effect?
that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like watching that episode, and you're like, why isn't she saying anything? Is she upset? Did she not want him to talk to her? Is she, like, not... Can she not talk? And she was like, fine. I'm like, okay. Thank you, Kanahana. But yeah, it's really slow. It's really boring. And I wish it wasn't, because it has a good premise. And I would have appreciated it. It's because I really like stuff with powers and stuff.
Me too.
And, like, connections and bonds and stuff like that. I like that stuff.
Yes, that's, like, my favorite stuff. But, yeah, this one was not...
It's just really slow, and I just didn't have time.
It's also going to be like 24 episodes, and I'm like...
Is it 24 episodes?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Also, I'm looking at it right now, too, and, like, I was scrolling down, because, like, if you read the description or whatever, like, there's a part where they talk about he finds this MacGuffin stone, which, like, turns out to be the stone that the, like, existence of the town will hinge on, and that sounds, like, really cool, but I watched, like, the first... 2 or 3 episodes.
The MacGuffin stone sounds fake, to be honest.
It does sound fake. Stone. But it sounds interesting, but that didn't happen at the beginning of the show. So, like, okay, yeah, like Spiral was saying, like, the chemistry between the characters is really awkward. Everything's really flat. It was super boring. I, like, really wanted to like this, because I also love shows with powers and bonds and stuff. I was like, oh my god, I want to like this so bad. I watched the first episode, I was like, it was okay. Like, I was kind of lying to myself, because I just really wanted to like it, but it was so boring. And then I watched the second episode, and did you watch the second episode of this, or did you just, like, completely...
I just don't want to watch any more of Sagrada Reset.
Okay, so, like, I'm just gonna spoil this, like, straight up or whatever, so, like, spoiler, if you want to watch this show, skip the next couple minutes, I guess. But, like, in the second episode, the girl who's, like, you know the girl who's, like, trying to set them up?
Uh-huh.
She dies.
Well, rip.
And they can't, like, reset because they've already reset or something like that. So that's why they, like, make the club. So that was, like, kind of cool. So there's, like, a time skip in the second or third episode. I forget if it's the second or third episode. There's, like, a time skip. So, like, there was, like, some interesting stuff that happened, but everything takes, like... so long, and the characters are so uninteresting that I, like, don't really care. So, I don't know. I definitely dropped this one because it was just sort of like, eh.
I like that they make a club about mysteries, but you know what's a better show about a club that does mysteries? Any show. You want to watch Haruhi? That's slightly better than this. Also, you can also watch Hyouka, which is a way better show.
There's a lot of shows that do, like, mystery clubs that are better than this. Yeah, I don't know. This was not... No. I was so sad, because I had such high hopes for this one. But, I mean, it's okay, because other stuff was good that I didn't expect to be good. So, it's fine that I just switched some stuff out.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I feel like it's one of the shows that if someone said, go watch more of the show, I would be like, no, I don't want to.
No, don't want to.
No, you can't make me.
Yeah, no, it is not good. So, moving on from the sadness that is that, let's talk about Sakura Quest.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, so I really like PA Works. I'm a fan. Sakura Quest is harmless, I think is the way that
harmless is a good word
that we used to describe it. It has cute music. The opening and ending were really cute, and the animation was so nice. Really really good. But I was kind of bored. Apparently PA Works was doing, like, a series of shows about, like, working girls, like, because this one and what was that one about the girls, like, making the anime together?
Shirobako?
Yeah, Shirobako, and then there was one other one, I think, too. So this is, like, the third in a series of shows that they're making about, like working girls or whatever in, like, different types of careers or whatever. I think it's kind of like this thing that they're doing. Stylistically, it's cute. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. I kind of wish it was funnier. Like, I think I would have been more hooked if it had been funnier. And, like, the main girl is, like, she was, like, kind of endearing, but also kind of, like, rude a little bit. So I didn't, like, super love her. I feel like this is a good show for people who are, like, just graduated trying to get a job. Like, I feel like that's kind of who it's aimed to. I don't know. Like, it felt a little predictable too. Like, I kind of felt like she was going to be like, I'm just going to do this one job and then leave, but then she's going to stay because everybody in the town is so great and she actually loves it and her ideas are better here in this place and, like, everything happens for a reason. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it wasn't bad. It was cute. It just, like, it was just kind of boring. Like, not for me. Like, Shirobako I really wanted to like because it was about, like, making an anime and voice acting and stuff, and I always want shows about those things to be good, and they never are. So I'm like, I always get like, So, but this one I didn't have really any attachment to because it's just, like, her being a working girl, and it was cute, but it just was kind of like, I'm watching other things that I don't need to watch this, basically. That's how I felt. Your
pretty
thoughts?
much. Yeah, pretty much the same. It's just a typical show about girls, and I'm like, I do need more shows about girls, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed the comedy that was in it, but it did need more to it. I feel like it was just like a starting episode just to draw you in. There was a scene where I don't think it was intentionally supposed to be as funny as I found it. It was a part where she tries to go home and she gets on the bus and there's just this rando with a guitar in, like, a cloak and a cap playing guitar. And she's like, I am gonna take another bus. And she just walks off.
I thought that part was funny.
It's super funny. I really like that part. And she's like, man, stupid small towns only have one train per every 3 hours or something. And I thought that's fun because I live in a small town and that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it was cute. It's, like, harmless.
It's harmless. It really is harmless and cute. And I feel like if I had more time and if I didn't watch 1,000 things, I would probably watch this. But this just isn't the kind of show I generally watch just because I don't really do slice of life shows unless it's got something a bit more. Yeah,
it's like a little too slice of life. It's like, it's just like a little, like, there's not really enough of an interesting twist to really, like, keep you grabbed.
Yeah. Very rarely I watch slice of life shows, so I feel like it didn't really stand a chance.
Aw, poor Sakura Quest.
Yeah, it's cute and the animation is nice, but
yeah, it
I
is.
don't watch slice of life shows that often, so
All right.
I'm sorry.
I love how you say it like you're like apologizing to the show, like you're so guilty. Like,
Yeah,
I'm so
like
sorry.
you're beautiful. You do you.
You do you. Yeah, I know a lot of people are actually really into it. Like I've seen a couple people talking about Sakura Quest actually. So I just assume that it's like people that like that type of show. So Okay, so up next we have Kado. Do you want to talk about this one, Spiral?
It's not going to be a good representation of what Kado's about, but I'll give it a shot. Look at the draw. Okay, so a man called Shindo, who everybody loves because I guess he's an important businessman / government man. I'm just gonna like look to you to be like,
It's still like, okay, admittedly, it's still not clear like why Shindo is so important. I still don't understand.
Why is he so important anyway? I could talk about Shindo all day, knowing very little about Shindo.
So could Kado.
So could anyone, yeah. So a guy called Shindo gets on a plane with his business partner, Saito Soma. I don't know what his name is, but he's played by Saito Soma, so that's his name now. He gets on a plane with his best friend, Saito Soma, along with 240 other passengers, and then the plane gets sucked up by a giant energy cube, I guess. So the plane disappears, and they end up in a weird dimension inside the cube, I guess. And then all the government are like, but what about Shindo? Shindo, where has Shindo gone? Forget the other 240 passengers in Saito Soma. We just want Shindo back. But yeah, so they look for Shindo, hoping that he comes back, and he does come back, and he brings along the guy from Otoya.
Wow.
He brings Otoya out with him, and he's like, yo, what's up? I want a government meeting, is basically what he says, or something. They're negotiating something, or something like that. Like, Shindo's gonna negotiate some kind of deal with the government or something, is what I kind of gathered from that point. But anyway, that's all I know about Kado. I don't understand it. But the animation is kind of cool. I enjoyed that part. And yeah, I'm not watching this. I don't know what it's about. I don't know why it doesn't grab me, because it's kind of boring to me. And that seems blasphemous, because everyone seems to love Kado. And I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Blasphemous.
But Rachelle can tell you all about Kado and why it's amazing. When Rachelle tells me about Kado, I'm like, man, Kado sounds really good. But
it is really good.
Yeah, but please, just tell me about Kado.
Let me tell you about Kado.
Okay, was I about right on what happened?
Yeah, you were, actually. Like,
okay, gay for Shindo. So hashtag gay for Shindo.
Everyone's gay for Shindo.
They are.
So, like, okay. Or straight if you're a woman, because there's a couple women there, too. So, anyway, yeah, you definitely have it right. Kado is weird, because, okay, so, like, here's the thing. Like, I went into it not expecting to like it. I was like, this looks stupid, quite frankly. Like, that was like when I read
to put it politely, this looks stupid.
It's just like, to put it bluntly, it looked very stupid. And I was like, I don't know about this one. Also, I tend to gravitate away from stuff that has CG animation. Like, I didn't watch Sidonia or Ajin. I did watch the Ghibli show, which had
You did watch
CG.
the Ghibli show.
Yeah, but I tend to gravitate away from it because it kind of, like, throws me off. But I will say, this is the best CG animation I've ever seen in an anime. In an anime that is fully CG. Do you know what I mean? Because they're obviously have their anime that have, like, some CG and whatever. But so I was, like, impressed by that. I started episode 0, which I honestly recommend that everybody skips. Because I was like, well, I guess, yeah, it's a good thing you did, because you would have hated it even more. Like, because the beginning, episode 0 is like, Shindo, I think episode 0 is supposed to explain why Shindo's important, but I didn't get it. Because, like, the whole time, they're just, like, in this factory, and, like, they're doing these, like, negotiations with this factory, and then, like, they're like, look, we discovered this metal, and it's a new type of metal. Woo!
A new type of metal.
And it's like, but it's like just this like sheet of metal. And that's the reason why like they're on the plane, because they're taking this sheet of metal somewhere. That's what you find out in episode 0.
Okay, so it's just a lead up to the plane ride.
Yeah, like the plane ride starts at the end of episode 0. So you see that first scene at the end of episode 0.
Okay.
Yeah, so episode 0 is not worth your time. Just know that they have like
a weird first episode, but alright.
Yeah. Like, the only thing that you know is like they have this sheet of metal, but like whatever. And it's like a tiny little square too. Like, it's like really funny. Okay. Anyway, so
it's not really a sheet, is it?
No, well, it's a sheet because it's like flat, but it's like a rectangle, so it looks like a piece of paper, but it's like metal.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway,
you said it was a tiny little square. I was like,
yeah. I mean, it's like tiny. I don't know. Anyway, so like, it was funny because I really wasn't expecting to like this show, and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch like the real episode 1 because like I don't think it's fair for me to judge it based on this like random factory thing. But I was like, oh man, if it's anything like that, I'm gonna be real bored. But like, it's not. It's really fascinating. It's about basically this alien guy that shows up, and I won't spoil it, but he offers like an energy source, basically. Like, that's kind of like the premise of it. And it just like throws the world into chaos, and it's just like very fascinating, and like it's pretty political. And I do feel like it's kind of a more mature show in that, because like it's a show that I definitely like. There are sometimes where I have to pause and go back and be like, wait, what did they just like say again? Because I need to make sure that I like fully understood what they just talked about, because it's like there's like a lot of like the UN gets involved because it's like all in Japan and stuff like that. And it's just really interesting. Like, it shows like a really, I want to say it shows almost like a sort of more realistic situation, like if there was to actually be like life from a different world here, like how people would respond to it and stuff, especially like a not hostile thing. Like, that's one of the things that's really cool is like I feel like a lot of American media with aliens, minus like Arrival, that was like kind of, it reminds me of Arrival, actually, like an anime version of Arrival, where like she goes and she like tries to learn their language and stuff like that, because Shindo becomes his personal assistant, basically, and he like becomes his sort of like liaison and like talks to people for him and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know, it's really interesting. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's an interesting like, what would happen if life from another world came here, offered us technology that could help us, and like wasn't hostile. So it's just like a very like fascinating story. I don't know, like I'm very into it. I love the main characters a lot. There's like a cute scientist girl. She's like really funny and like really interesting. And the alien guy's like kind of like robotic, and he's like, he doesn't understand how to do things. So Shindo's like, no, you can't say it like that. And he's like, oh. And it's like, it's just like really funny. And like, Shindo's kind of like a generic character right now, so that's why I'm kind of like, I don't get why everybody loves him, but like everybody loves him. Why does everyone
love Shindo?
Nobody knows. But yeah, like I definitely was like, this is cool. I'm fascinated. It's probably my favorite show this season besides Royal Tutor, because it's like the opposite end of the spectrum of Royal Tutor. Like, Royal Tutor is really like light and happy and funny, and then this one is really like, it makes me think, and I really like that about it. And it's like every episode ends where it's like, oh my god, what is the world going to do now? Like in the I haven't watched the one that just came out like today, but like in the last episode from last week, it ended in a way where it was like, oh my gosh, like that changes everything. Like, I feel like every episode, like they add new information. You're like, that changes literally everything. So like, what are they gonna do now? It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like a crazy ride, and I love it. Like, it's just, it's definitely my favorite show. I highly recommend it. if you're, like, into that sort of stuff. Like, I feel like one of the reasons I like it right now is because, like, with, like, the way that the world has been in the past, like, year or so, I got, like, way more interested in politics and stuff like that. Because I'm, like, older, too. So it, like, affects me more now. Like, when you're a kid, you don't think about that stuff as much. So I feel like because I'm, like, interested in, like, what's going on in the world now more, I feel like this show is so fascinating to me because it just explores so many different, like, political angles and stuff. I don't know, it's really interesting. So if you're into, like, a more mature show that, like, is gonna make you think, I like really recommend it. Like, super hardcore.
Cool.
Those are my Kado feels. I really love it. Like, I'm a huge advocate for it. I think it's really great. Anyway, I just, like, talked about that for a really long time because
it's okay. It's interesting because I don't understand. I feel like it's lost on me just because I don't have a huge amount of attention when it comes to something like this. But,
Yeah, it definitely, like I said, it definitely takes a lot of, like, wait a minute. Like, in the last episode, they were doing some science-y stuff because they were, like, explaining, like, spoilers. I'm going to just say this is a spoiler, so, like, skip the next couple minutes if you don't want to hear this. There's, like, when he brings this energy source, they, like, are testing it to find out, like, what it's made of and stuff like that. So in the last episode, there was, like, a lot of, like, science-y stuff where she was explaining, like, how it's made and how, like, humans could make it and stuff like that. And so definitely took, like, a minute for me to be like, okay, like it's not a show where I can kind of, like, do something else. Like, I have to sit down for the 23 minutes and, like, just really watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I do like shows that are, like, psychological and slower, but, like, I felt like this was too slow, and it was just not, it wasn't hitting me right. It was just kind of, it was brushing the point rather than getting straight to the point. So I feel like I just wasn't up for that kind of slow ride. I was like, can just get to the point.
Yeah, I do feel like,
I feel like they draw it out a lot, and I'm not sure.
They have been drawing it out a lot, but for some reason for me, like, it doesn't go by slow. Like, I was saying to a friend who was also watching it, like, the two of us were discussing it, and we both were like, oh man, every time we watch, I feel like the 20 minutes is just gone in, like, 2 seconds. And then I'm like, wait, I need more. Like, I need to know more. I don't know why. It's weird, but it is a really, like, but you're right. It is paced, like, very slowly still. But for some reason,
I feel like I don't get anything from each episode when I watch it. Like, I watched episode 2 and I was like, but I didn't learn anything new.
After episode 3, when they introduce this thing, you definitely, that's when the, like, ball kind of starts rolling a little bit more, I think. But you're right, it is a slower paced show. But I think it's just because they're shoving so much information at you. You know what I mean?
It's a bit too slow, and I'm not too into the characters. This is the problem.
Yeah.
So, that's just me. I'm sure it's very popular right now, so I'm like, maybe I'm just wrong.
I love it. It's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite. So, but I totally understand, like, why people wouldn't like it. Like, when you say you don't like it, I'm not like, wow, you're crazy. You should be liking this show. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because it's, like, a very specific type of show. So I totally get why you don't like it. And I would understand other people not liking it, too.
Okay,
I'm going to move on, because we talked about this forever.
Yep.
Okay. Not that that's a big deal, because I really love it, so, and I think it deserves talking. Okay, so the next show on our list is, oh god, I don't know if I want to say the whole title. Just like,
I will. Sinna.
No, it's not that one.
Is it not that one? Oh, no, it's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh. Shuumatsu Nani Shitemasu ka? Isogashi desu ka? Sukutte Moratte Ii desu ka? Isn't it like, are you busy this weekend? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's
or
like,
something like
it's
that.
like, what are you doing? Okay, like, on Crunchyroll, I believe it's like, world end, what are you doing at the end of the world? are you busy? Will you help us? Or something like that.
Okay.
I think. Or will you save us, maybe? I don't know. Long ass title.
I know random bits of those words, but I'm like, I don't know what that says.
Yeah, same. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, so...
It's called Suka.
Suka is a show about a guy who is the last human, but they have, like, a weird name for humans, but I don't know how to say it, so I'm not gonna say it. It's like Ergenwerd. It's like Ergenwerdherd. Like, it sounds like Ermagerd language. It's like Ergenwerd.
It's Ermagerd.
Yeah, it's something like that. And he is in the military, and he gets recruited to protect these weapons, which turn out to be these, like, human-looking women, but they're actually, like, fairies. And okay. they live on these floating islands because the earth below them is, like, plagued by beasts and Skyward Sword. That's, like, what I think of when I think of, like, the premise of this is I'm like, oh man, like, it's Skyward Sword because
the land below them's plagued by Skyward Sword. What a horrible place.
No, because in Skyward Sword, like, they all live in the sky. And they're
okay, I thought you said, the land is just full of Skyward Sword.
So
poor camera.
Poor camera controls. Really difficult Wii motion. No, it's just, the premise of Skyward Sword is that they, like, all live on these floating islands, like, above the sky. Like, they live, like, above these clouds. And, like, beneath the clouds is the regular Earth, but they can't go there because it's, like, supposedly plagued by beasts and blah blah blah, and then, like, the point of the game is you go to the Earth and you realize it's like there are a lot of beasts, but it's not like destroy. I don't know. It's apparently like the prequel to Zelda, but yeah. So, like, this has nothing to do with this podcast, but I was just trying to make a comparison because I feel like it's the same thing.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was just saying it's like the same basic plot, like. There are these people living on these floating islands because they can't live on the Earth anymore because it's, like, plagued by beasts. So, like, that's just what I think of when I watch a show. I don't know. I'm watching this show. Just let me preface this. I don't know why I'm watching this show.
We don't know why, but we'll find out.
I know. But it's weird because it's not like with Recreators where I was like, I'm tentative about this and I don't know where it's going, but I'm still going along for the ride. It's like... It's like, I know it's trash, but I'm still watching it. Yeah, I don't know. I am very fascinated by the main guy. I like the premise that there's, like... I really like the premise of this, like, these floating islands and stuff like that, and there are these girls who, like, have to fight. It does that thing where it starts off at the end, and then you're like... And then it flashes back to the beginning. In media res, is that what it's called?
I think so.
I'm
not sure.
Where it's like they start at the end and then you're like, so, like, record scratch, you're probably wondering how I got to this point, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
That thing, that they do that at the beginning of the show. And I am legit wondering how they get to that point, so I feel like that's why I'm watching this show.
It works. An effective storytelling.
It was effective at grabbing me. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cheap looking. It's not a very, like, amazing looking show. The characters are... I find the main guy really interesting because he's, like, the last human, and he clearly has all these, like, images of his past. And he was kind of like Avatar, like, he was, like, frozen, and then they, like, find him and wake him up, basically. And that's, like, how he's, like, still alive after, like, a lot of years. It's been, like, 1,000 years or something like that. It's weird. But, like, it's just really interesting. And I really like his relationship with the girls, because it's not, like, a harem style thing. It's more just, like, he's, like, their caretaker, because they're all, like, younger, like, little girls, except for, like, a couple of them. It hasn't been super pervy yet. There have been, like, a couple of weird moments, but mostly it's been pretty okay. And I actually really like his relationship with the main girl. Like, she is definitely in love with him, and she's, like, supposedly a lot, quote-unquote, a lot younger than him. But I don't know how much younger I don't know if it's just that she's, like, not 15,000 years old, or if, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, what their actual age difference is. But, like, it's cute, and he, like, obviously cares about, like, the people that he's watching over in a platonic way, like, not in a creepy, like, weird way. And so, like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of endearing moments in the show, and I'm, like, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's not my favorite thing that I'm watching, but I'm enjoying it.
That's good.
Yeah. I really loved the rendition of Scarborough Fair in the first episode. That was cool. The first episode was cute, so, yeah. I don't know. I know you're not watching this and have, like, no desire to.
I don't know what the show's about. I didn't even write any notes for this. I put too many children as my only note that I put. Because wasn't there, like, a town full of, like, cats? And I was like, this is a lot of cats.
I
don't really want to watch this show full of a bunch of cats. And then there was, like, a scene where they cut to a lot of children. I'm like, it's too many children. This is the drawing point. Like, I was okay with the cats to a point, but I was like, there's children too. Okay, I can.
Yeah, like, when I said he was the last human, it's because, like, everybody else is, like, different types of animals. Like, it's like
they're
furry playground.
A furry playground nation, and he's a human, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like the opposite of the Grimoire show, I guess.
Yeah, it is the opposite of that show. It's kind of funny.
Pretty much, but I don't know. I was like, there's too many cats, and I was like, there are too many children. I was like, okay, that's too many things. We're done. But I don't know. It seemed very generic and moe-ish. So I just didn't want to.
It's not super moe, but it is pretty generic. It kind of reminds... It's like this season's like... Oh, God. I'm gonna get slayed by saying this. But I feel like it's like this season's like ReZero. Or like fantasy light novel adaptation show. That's
I guess
all kind of the same. But it's like, instead of it being like, oh man, I got sucked into a game, it's just like, oh man, in the future. I don't know.
Oh man, there's too many women.
Oh man, there's too many children. I don't know.
What a shame. There's too many women. What do I do?
So yeah, that's kind of Suga, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't get it. But if you're enjoying it, then good for you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's harmless. It's enjoyable week to week. Okay, so next we have Sin Nanatsu no Taizai, a quality show.
7 Deadly Sins, I guess.
Yep.
But not 7 Deadly Sins, the other show.
Yeah.
Or the other show before that one.
No.
Or the other show.
All new.
I know. Who fought to make an anime about 7 Deadly Sins? No one's ever done that.
Nope.
Super new. No one's ever done that. Good job, this show.
Yeah.
God.
I'm excited for you to talk about this.
I don't really remember a lot about the show. There were a lot of fan service stuff happening in this episode. I do remember it was censored in my version, which made it worse.
Yeah, it was censored in everyone's version, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it? Was that the only version we got?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is.
I thought it was like a secret, like, underground copy where everyone was like, ooh, there's no censoring, tee-hee.
No, I'm pretty sure it's censored in, like, everything.
Okay. I wish it was, like, a better censor, because it was just kind of, like, a weird...
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. It was a weird choice of like.
I feel like it almost makes it worse, to be honest.
It does make it kind of worse, yeah. But also, it's just like, why would you censor that part? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like, some parts were censored, but I was like, why did you censor that part? There was no need.
I know.
But I don't know. Anyway, it's about a fallen angel, I guess, who falls from heaven and then to hell and then back up to Earth, I guess. And then back down to hell again.
I know, I'm
and
so
then
confused
meets the
about
7
the
Deadly
directions.
Sins people. Huh?
Said I was so confused about, like, the direction of, like, where it was going to end up. I was like, is this going to be on
I was confused which direction she went. I was like, down again, up, down.
No, sorry.
I just gave you all the directions.
I was like, you just, like, Dance Revolution me. You're like, down, up, down.
I know. It's
side,
like,
left.
duh, it's up, down, double cross. Ugh.
Yeah. Like,
Pleb.
oh, jeez. Pleb.
But yeah, she falls down to hell again for the second time. And she's like, I'm gonna be a deadly sin now. And fights all the other deadly sins. And then she just becomes one of them, I guess, is what happens. I guess? Maybe?
Yeah, I think she, like, destroys one of them, doesn't she? Kind of.
I don't remember if she killed anyone, but I'm not sure.
I think
what happened.
I don't think she killed one. I thought she, like, defeated one, and then she got to, like, take her place. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I maybe made that.
I'm fairly sure there were only 6 of them in that room, and she was like, I'm number 7 now. I'm like, okay. Cool. Welcome to the gang, is what they said after beating her half to death. But she's already dead, so I don't know. Why does it matter? But, yeah. It was not made for me. But I'm sure someone watched it and were like, this is good. Best anime of the season. This is my new favorite anime, is what they would have said. Pinned up all of their, like, merch from, like, online stores. Like,
no.
yeah, Deadly Sins, the best series about the 7 deadly sins. Forget you, Full Metal Alchemist. This is the one.
No, why would you even suggest that?
I don't know, there must be someone who's like that. Someone in the world is like, yes, this 7 deadly sins is the one to beat.
I mean, you're probably not wrong, but I'm just disappointed.
I mean, we're all disappointed. We're weebs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this show, this is like, I feel like every season there's that one, like, porny show, like the hentai show. And this is it. Yeah. Yeah, for me, the censoring made it worse, because, like, it was just like, here's a butt, here's some boobs, here's a butt, here's some boobs. And it was like, if you're gonna just show it. Like, if you're gonna, okay.
Just commit.
I was like, this in my notes, I just wrote, this show is for dudes, and underlined dudes really intensely.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case, no. I was like, I like when they focus. Oh, yeah. I was like, I love in the scene where they're in the hall, like when she walks into the hall and, like, sees all the sins, they tend to focus on the boobs instead of, like, their faces. Like, they're like, look, here are their boobs. And it's just kind of funny. The whole, like, clothes coming off trope is in this, and, like, fighting, and, like, no armor with boobs and stuff, and, yeah. I thought that the fact that Lucifer was a woman was cool. Like, that was probably, like, the only thing that I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. But everything else was just kind of like, no.
No.
Yeah, so I think this show is pretty straightforward. If you like fan service, watch this.
Yeah, you'll love it.
So,
fan service everywhere. Fan service the show. 10 out of 10.
So, as you know, me and Spiral are not watching this one. Surprise!
Surprise! Don't like fan service of this kind.
Crazy. Okay, so the next show on the list is Sugumomo.
Yeah.
Which, so this is another weird show. I feel like all the fan servicey shows came, like, later on in the season, because I do remember this one airing, like, later.
Yeah, this is one of the last couple.
Yeah. So I'm like, so in this show, like, I don't know, it was weird. It was a weird show. So in this show, there's this boy, and he goes to school, and, he has, an obi, I believe, left to him.
Well, sash, yeah.
Yeah, like the sash from his mom who died. And then, like, I don't understand what happens, but for some reason it comes to life and becomes a girl. And she's like, make a contract with me, I guess, and then I'll protect you, because he's, like, getting bullied or something. And so he's like, okay, I guess I'll do this. And so then that's, like, what happens. And she, like, fights other objects that become people. It seems like a harem. I think if I remember right, I was like, this seems like it's going to be a harem, because there was, like, multiple girls. I wrote, oh, man, is this the harem? We haven't had enough of those yet this season. Which was kind of true. There aren't very many harems this season, to be honest.
Not really. There's, like, elements of them, but nothing's like, yes. I'm gonna get all the women.
I know. So I think this might have been, like, one of the closer ones to it. Oh, and that's right. I was... Speaking of... This whole podcast has been, like, tropes Rachelle hates. So it was, like... It's, like, that girl... The girl who gets, like, all pissy with the guy and stuff like that. And I was just like, But I like that he carries this sash around like a security blanket. Like, it's like his little, like, thing. I don't know. It was really, really boring. There's, like, a part where they share a bath. And it was kind of weird because, like, I'm confused. I think I was confused if she was the spirit of his mom or not. Also, there was, like, a
thing to be debatable later on in an episode that we're not going to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt, too. And, like, oh, it was really gross. I don't know. And, like, she was kind of that same, like, do everything for me kind of girl. Like, I'm just going to sit in the room and you have to do everything for me. I don't know. There's a lot of nakedness, too. And they also talked about his penis a lot. So, that happened.
Like you do.
Yeah, so definitely not watching this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, I wrote down... I don't actually remember this show, but I did write down, this was bad, but entertaining. So I feel like that's my theme for this season. It was bad, but it was entertaining.
Entertainingly bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't... If someone said, oh yeah, let's watch more of this, I'm like, yeah, alright. Like,
really?
I don't care.
I feel like this was
like... alright.
I feel like this one was so beyond that, like, so bad.
It was funny, though. It was, like, stupid. Like...
Probably.
It was just kind of... It was different. I appreciated that it was about, like, spirits and clothing. But kind of, like, not Kill la Kill, but a cheap, poor man's Kill la Kill, I guess. But...
Wow.
It was fine. It wasn't... It was terrible, but I wasn't bored watching it. I was like, yeah, look at this girl. She's a sash. Cool. Like, I wasn't bored, but I was just, why is this happening, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing was, tropes that Rachelle hates. There was a lot of incest in the show.
Yeah,
like,
that was the other thing.
Incest.
That's what I was going to say. There was so much uncomfortable incest. So much.
And I was like, this is a bit too uncomfortable for me.
Ugh.
But yeah, I enjoyed the effort that went into it. It wasn't terribly animated, but then it was passable. It was fine. I wouldn't watch it again, probably, unless someone was like, lol, let's watch this sarcastically. I'm like, yeah, alright. So, that's where I'm at. It wasn't...
Let's watch this sarcastically.
Yeah.
The amount of shows that you would watch sarcastically scares me.
I know. I feel like I'm tolerable to a lot of things that are terrible, and if I'm bored, I'm just like, you know what? Hatsukoi Monster sounds like a brilliant idea. I did finish Hatsukoi Monster. I didn't enjoy it.
Can't believe you. I still am not over the fact that you finished that show.
I didn't enjoy it, but it was a thing. Like, it's the same with this show. I would probably watch all of it and be like, yeah, that was bad. Moving on.
Wow.
Like,
well,
that's fine. If I don't have a lot to watch in a season, I'll pick a show.
Pick up weird
just like,
stuff. Yeah, that happens to me too.
Let's see what happens.
I know.
But, yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Tsukigakure.
Oh man,
you get to talk about this one.
Look at the draw.
I know.
Lucky me. Okay, well, I'm watching this show, so it's only right that I tell you how great of a show Tsukigakure is. It's about a boy who wants to be a writer. So he's, like, writing a lot of short stories and novels and trying to submit them to different publishers and trying to basically make his dream come true. But he's, like, struggling with it. But he's also struggling in school and just generally trying to fit in with people.
He's struggling.
he's struggling in a lot of things. He's shy and he's a little awkward, but he does have some nice, cool friends, and they're supportive of him. And he also takes part in, like, a festival club, which is really cute. Like, so cute. He's, like, super into and passionate about festivals and volunteering. That's super cute, isn't it? Anyway, there's another girl who's really passionate about track, and she wants to be in a track team and go to university and everything. And she's really shy and anxious, and she has a little security toy that she has to have, or she gets too nervous and too anxious to do anything. And it's about those two as they fall in love and how they affect each other's lives. It's, like, really innocent and pure, and it's a fun story. It's really slow and boring, but I love it. It's really calm. I don't know. I feel really relaxed when I watch this show. It doesn't just focus on the main pair either, which is really nice. I feel like, I don't know if this has a manga or not. It probably doesn't, because it clearly says original.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say, it says original on the thing. So
Probably should look at my notes, but anyway, it's set up in a way that's, at the end of every episode, or more or less every episode, there's, like, little shorts about other couples, because, like, their friends also have, like, boyfriends or girlfriends, and it's about them trying to get through their love life and everything. There's one about a guy who's like, I'm gonna take you to this place that you've always wanted to go, and she's like, oh, he really cares, and he's like, I brought no money, and she's like, are you for real? And then they break up, and I'm like, oh no.
Are you for real?
I'm like, oh no, I hope they work it out next episode or something like that. And it's really cute. It's just about them learning how to be in relationships and learning how to get by in life and make their dreams come true and stuff. And it's really fun. And it's really it's just relaxing. I don't care. It's great. Also, it's a really, really long commercial for the online messenger app Line. It's a really long commercial for Line. In the first episode, it's just the two shy people. They're very shy. These two main characters are very shy, and they have trouble just communicating with each other. So they're like, do you have Line? And he's like, no, I don't have Line. And she's like, oh, would you like to add me on Line? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. And she's like, oh, well, we're doing the festival online. If you want to add me, my ID is this. And he's like, okay, maybe I'll text you sometime. And then it's really cute. Like, they text each other online, and it's really fun. And they're really cute. They send each other little stickers, and they're like, lol. I'm like, man, that's how I use Line too.
Relatable. So relatable.
I'm like, it's like me and Rachelle. When I text Rachelle, I'm like, here's a Leighton sticker.
Yeah, I know. I like that you're like, man, I send stickers online. I'm like, you send like 2 stickers online.
I have 2 favorite stickers online. But anyway, that's beside the point. The show's great.
Yeah, I am not watching this show. It was too boring similar to how Kado was really slow for you. Tsukigakure was like real slow for me.
It's super slow, but it's cute.
Yeah, it was just too slow for me. It was like kind of slice of lifey too, like a little too slice of lifey for me. And yeah, like the Line thing kind of made me giggle. It was like, I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, was this made by or sponsored by Line? Because they talk about it.
I think it's just a popular app in Japan.
It is. Yeah. But usually in shows, like when they do stuff, they change it a little bit. Like it would be called like Lime instead of like Lime. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like I wonder McDonald's. If like it's sponsoring it or something. But yeah, the character designs are super cute, and like the animation was really pretty, and like it's nice like looking. But it was kind of generic to me. I did like how much he quoted Taizai. Like, he's like obsessed. Oh,
there's a really cute scene later on where he quotes Taizai, and I'm like, that's so cute. Damn it.
Yeah, like, that kind of made me giggle just because of, like, Bungo. Like, and everything with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If they were really awkward too, like, and for me, I know, like, it has its cute moments, but also, like, the awkward moments, I was like, oh, this is, like, kind of, like, you know when you watch people be awkward and you're like, no, I'm, like, secondhand awkward? It's kind of how I felt. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't.
It's endearingly awkward, though. I'm like, oh, they're, like, first love.
It was, like,
awkward.
I couldn't do it. So, yeah, this show just, like, isn't for me. I don't know, like, I feel like this one and Fukumenkei Noise are, like, those shoujo-y shows. And so, and you love that
this
stuff.
This is better than Fukumenkei Noise.
No, I know it is. But I just meant, like, that genre of show. And, like, I have to be, like, it has to be, like, really good for me to hook me. Like, Ore Monogatari was, like, oh, man, this is my type of shoujo show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like you're more forgiving with these type of shows compared to me. Whereas, like, I'm more forgiving. It's got
a really nice, like, calming atmosphere. It reminds me a bit of Tanaka-kun in that kind of, like, it's very silent. There's a lot of space around everyone, and I appreciate that. It feels like life, because it's really, like, in its own bubble. And
I know other people who are watching this and really loving it, so there is a small part of me that's like, maybe I missed out on Tsuki ga Kirei, but then I remember how bored I was.
It's just really atmospheric. Like,
during the first
when there's, like, silence, there's silence, and it's just like, when you're alone and you're thinking, you're like, oh, yeah, this is what it feels like. It feels empty and you're alone, and I'm like, oh. And it's like, and then someone comes in, and then all this other stuff happens, like, there's, I don't know.
Well,
like when it's all quiet and then like you can just hear every little detail in the background, and it's really interesting. I don't know. It's great. From the people who brought you Pillow Talk Boys, this masterpiece. It's great.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean,
really fun.
I didn't like, it wasn't like offensive to me. Like, I didn't hate it. It just didn't grab me personally. Like, so I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, hearing people talk about it, I am a little like, maybe I missed out on this show because people seem to really like it. So,
yeah,
maybe
really
someday
like
I will go back to it.
Someday.
All right, so the next show is Warau...
Laughing Salesman.
Laughing Salesman. There you go. This was so creepy. That was my... It's like, I feel like that's
I'm trying to move away from this image because he's pointing at me and I don't like it. Okay.
I know. And I know that's part of the point. Like, he's supposed to make you uncomfortable. But, the opening song is amazing. I remember that.
The opening song is really fun.
It's really great. But yeah, the art is kind of like, I mean, I know it's like sort of that like more classic style art.
It reminds me of Shin-chan, actually. That kind of like, disjointed kind of animation.
Shin-chan, and kind of like, I wrote down Osamatsu-san too. Like, it has that sort of similar.
Oh yeah, that kind of
that feel.
Oldish kind of feel, yeah.
Yeah. And I know that this is like a complete remake. Like, this is like a new version of something that was around. He's like really scary. I believe they're like short episodes. Like, they're not, it's not a short, but it's like the first 12
short episodes put together.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Trying to say it that way. And at first I thought he helped people, but he actually like tricks people into like...
He doesn't trick people.
Well, no,
I feel like he gives them what he wants, but it's just a
it
negative
comes
spin
with
on
a
what
price.
They want. Yeah, it's exactly what they want, but people are greedy and don't always think about the things that they wish for.
Yeah, and it has like, it's one of those shows that has like a lesson. Like, the first half, like the story about the guy who was like a drunk or whatever was kind of like, The second one was better, about the like girl who goes shopping and has like the shopping problem. I liked the shopping one a lot more. Yeah, it was definitely like a show with a lesson, and I didn't like hate the lesson. Like, I thought it was kind of like cool, because I think that there are a lot of people that spend their money quite frivolously. I don't know. Like, the lessons were cool, but he's terrifying.
He is kind of terrifying.
He's kind of terrifying. And I don't know, I think I would have gotten bored with it because it's just so episodic in that way. Like, here's today's lesson, you know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, not for me. Your thoughts?
Well, usually I do like stuff like this, like
yeah,
short,
I'm actually
kind of episodic
surprised
stuff.
you didn't watch this, to be honest.
I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I wrote down this character is a walking nightmare. Like,
I mean,
he
yes.
legitimately scares me. Like, I'm trying to think of a show that it reminds me of in this similar kind of structure. I want to say it reminds me of that show I watched a couple of seasons ago with the royal family. Those, like, children who were part of the royal family. I don't remember what it was called. But that was in the similar structure. Like, it was 2 short stories put together into one episode. I don't remember what it's called, and it's going to bug me until I think what it is.
Oh, was that the one where they're, like, they're all, like, trying to be on the throne?
It's like they're being watched by everyone, so there's cameras everywhere, and and they're judging who's going to be the next person for the throne. But anyway, that reminds me of that. It's that kind of structure. I want to say Nichijou, but I don't think I'm right. Or like Lucky Star, where they have little like
Lucky
segments
Star does
put
that,
together.
I think.
Like that kind of structure. I like those kind of shows. Like that's really appealing to me when I see stuff like that.
Sangatsu did that
really
a little bit.
Uncomfortable because at the same time I do like that kind of structure, but then the characters also have to be fun and cool. But yeah, this character doesn't make me feel good. I don't like watching him when he comes on the screen. I just feel not good, and I don't like him. But yeah, I appreciate the lessons that they did. It was interesting thinking how each wish would like reverse,
get twisted. Yeah.
Because like she could spend anything she wanted, but at the end of the day, it would disappear. That was interesting, and then obviously she went too far and took it. It took away more than she wanted. So that was an interesting thing. Like, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting idea, but it's kind of
not for us.
Too samey for me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch it because misery, but at the same time, I really like Hell Girl. So that's like really, really strange. I don't know.
Well,
I say I don't like misery, but there's like certain shows that I really like. Anyway, no thanks.
No thanks. So, on to the last show of the season. Would you like to talk about it, Spiral? Especially since you are watching it.
This is very true. This is Grimoire of Zero. Or Zero Kara Hajimeru, whatever. Anyway.
Grimoire!
Grimoire!
In my opinion, you're only watching this because Grimoire was in the title.
People have to understand why I'm so obsessed with the Grimoire. But I feel like that's just a story for another day. But anyway. The show is about a world where normal humans can be just born randomly as furries, I guess. Like half human, half giant tiger, half giant wolf, whatever. The world is your oyster. If you want to be a furry, this world's for you. But everyone will hate you. But if you are a half human, half furry man, you're exceptional in the world. In certain towns, and some people are like, furries, not into them. But other towns are like, yeah, these giant furry men, they're really good at hunting witches. We hate witches. Because in this world, witches are bad because they suspect that witches have, like, started a plague and, like, set fires to towns out of, like, spite and everything. So there's, like, witch trials and burning innocent people. And that's really interesting. And, like, beast people... I forgot what they're called now. They're just half beast, half human people. They're like working as like merchants or just killing witches or whatever. And this one giant tiger man, he has a very sad backstory, and I like him. But at the same time, he meets a witch, and she's real cute, but also real tsundere and weird. I want to say tsundere. I don't know. She's a dairy, I guess. She's one of them. I feel like I've been talking for a long time, but I haven't explained anything, but that's very reminiscent of what the show is.
I was like, I'm still not really sure what this show is about based on what you're saying.
No one knows. Anyway, he meets this witch, And she's like an exceptional witch. She's a person who wrote a special book called The Grimoire of Zero, which is a way to differentiate between different types of magic. So there's sorcery and there's magic. Sorcery is like you're limited by certain factors, and then magic is like limitless stuff.
Wow, I didn't realize there were different types.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. I like that element of it. But the problem with this show is that they haven't done anything in 5 episodes, and that bothers me because I've been going through this journey hoping that they'd have a lot of magic and we'd learn a lot about magic and where the witches are coming from and why certain humans are born as furries and cursed by different witches and stuff. But we haven't learned any of those things. Instead, what have we done in 5 episodes? We've moved to 2 towns and we've bought new clothes. That's about all we've done.
Wow.
And I wish more things happened. It is not a bad show. It's kind of slow and boring, and I want to meet this character they're all looking for, but we haven't got there yet. It's slow, but whatever. I like magic, and I wanted to learn more magic, but we haven't got any of that yet. So this is one of the shows that has anime remorse on my list because it's a waste of time so far.
Yeah, I actually was kind of surprised when you picked this show up.
It was interesting, but at the same time, I need them to do something.
Yeah, it was, I thought the show was kind of weird. I was like, how do humans randomly birth animals?
Curses!
It was like, what?
Unexplained curses.
And then I was like, oh shit, a furry. Like when he first appeared on screen. Yeah, this show felt like super all over the place to me, like plot-wise. Like I was like, oh, like the story felt really jumpy. Like there was like a flashback and then they were back in the marketplace and he was like in the forest. Like, I don't know, like it felt kind of like I wasn't really sure what was going on and it was kind of boring, which it sounds to me like that's just the show.
It's just the show.
What you're saying. Like, it's just kind of all over the place. At one point I wrote, is this a harem for this tiger guy? But I don't know why I wrote that. I don't think it is, but I don't know why I wrote that. I did think the world was cool. Like, I liked the idea of, like, witches being bad and, like, that whole thing and, like, him, like, helping this witch girl. But it didn't super grab me. I mean, like, it kind of felt like that, like, light novel adaptation fantasy show, you know, like that typical thing. And, like, I don't know, like, it felt similar in, like, production quality to Suka. Like, they're very different plot shit-wise, but they had that same kind of feel, you know what I mean? And so I was kind of like, I kind of got my, like, trashy fantasy show already, because, like, this one had come after Suka, I believe, so I was sort of like, I think I'm going to just let it go. Or no, I think it was around the same time, actually. Maybe I watched them at the same time. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at my notes, it seems like I watched them at the same time. But I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I'm like, I don't know, like, it just didn't really hook me. Oh, and also, this is, like, a stupid thing. This really bothered me. You know how, like, in the thing, the tiger, in the show, the tiger guy, they were like, oh, it looks like you're smiling all the time. It doesn't look like he's smiling all the time to me. Like, I just, like, think they were like...
I wasn't convinced.
I know, I did say that really, like, weirdly. But, like, I don't know, like, he had the, like, he has, like, the face thing, and they're like, oh, it looks like you're smiling all the time. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm like, he looks, like, upset all the time to me. Like, I don't know, like...
He's a very grumpy character. I'm like,
yeah.
Which part of him is a smile?
Yeah, that's what I'm like, what? I don't get it. So, those are my thoughts about this show. I didn't understand it. I like hearing you talk about it because it's, like, funny. It's always funny to me when you pick up a show and you don't like it because, like, you keep going, but then you'll talk to me about it and you'll be like, it's so bad. Like, you're like, it's so boring. And I'm like, this is just kind of funny to me. And I mean, you do the same to me, too. But it's just funny.
Yeah, in a way, I'm like, it'll get better. It will. There's gonna be an episode where there's gonna be a ton of magic, and I'm gonna be real happy about it. All these interesting things they keep, like, poking about. It's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna get real good. And then it never happens. I'm like, you know what? I deserve this.
Yeah.
This is
I
my
feel
fault.
that way about some shows that I pick up, and then I'm a little feeling that with Recreators. I'm like, oh God, I really hope that I'm not wrong about this getting better. So the last episode had a good twist, so I'm like, please stay this way. You know?
Please be still.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God. Yeah, sometimes you take that risk, and then and then you get to the point where you're like, there's only like 5 episodes left, so you're like, might as well, but like,
do something.
But like, you're sitting there just waiting for something to happen, but you're like, maybe I'll just finish it, I guess. Oh my God.
Then at the end, you're like, wait for it.
Yeah, and then nothing happens. Literally nothing happens.
And the credits roll, you're like, it's gonna be here any minute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my risk show. It's just whatever.
It's
here.
Cool.
It is.
I'm excited to hear you talk about it at the wrap up.
Well, I'll just see you at the wrap up party.
See you at the wrap up. I know. So that was our podcast for spring 2017.
It sure was. We did it.
We did it. We survived another season.
Yay.
So would you like to say what your final picks were for this season, like what you're watching right now?
I mean, I will once I open up my list, because apparently I have no idea what I'm watching. Life is hard.
Do you want me to go? Because I have mine.
I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
You're good.
Let's do this.
Okay,
I am watching Adam, the beginning. I'm also watching SNK 2. I am also watching Boko Aka 2. I am also watching Fukumenkei Noise, Menkei Noise, whatever. Anyway, Granblue. And then I'm also watching a short, which is Kenka Bancho Otome Girl Beats Boys, which is the best short. If you watch one short this season, please make it be this one. Make it be this one.
I really, really want to catch up with that one, actually.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
I also like, okay, this is like a small detour. I like that the opening song plays over what they're doing at that moment. There's one where they're just doing homework, and there's this really, like, rock-heavy song doing, like, do-do-do-do-do, and they're, like, studying, and they're, like, struggling. I'm like, this is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm also carrying over Little Witch Academia from last season. I'm watching Royal Tutor, Haine. I'm also watching Roommate, which is another weird short.
You're watching Roommate.
Which is a spin-off from the original Roommate.
I can't
which
believe.
had girls in it.
I cannot believe.
Whatever. Only God can judge me. Anyway, Star Muse Season 2. Tsukigakure, Yowamushi Paddle, New Generation, and Grimoire of Zero are all of my hell shows. Please join me in hell. Rachelle, please tell me what you're watching.
I'm watching Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Hinako Note, Kabukibu, Kado, Kyokai no Ren Season 3, carrying over Little Witch, Recreators, Royal Tutor, Shingeki no Kyojin Season 2, Star Muse Season 2, which is glorious, by the way, Suka, and then also carrying over Yowamushi Pedal as well.
Am I watching more than you?
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah. I know, the past 2 seasons... See, okay, here, normally I end up watching more because I pick up, like, a lot of random crap, and then Spiral's like, why are you doing this? And she watches,
I'm like,
way less than me.
Hold my beer.
And then this season and... I think, like, the past 2 seasons you've watched more than me.
I know, it's crazy.
It's like we've swapped. So, it's crazy.
I was having a weird year where I'm like, you know what? This'll do.
This'll do. So yeah, what are you guys watching? Feel free to comment what you're watching, or maybe we missed something, so you could be like, you guys aren't watching this? Oh my gosh, you gotta watch this.
You're not watching Hyperdrive whatever road.
Hyperdrive to make a head blah. Yeah, tell us in the comments, or you can talk to us on our Twitters, which we'll link in the description, and we also have links to our Kitsus in the description so you can see what we're watching. If you follow us there, you'll get spoiled on what we're watching before the podcast, because usually we wait like 3 or 4 episodes before we do this, so. But yeah, I think that's all we got. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Not really. Just enjoy your anime time and your time on Earth.
Enjoy your spring anime, and we'll be back at the end to talk about wrap-ups and...
wrap-up party! Come to the wrap-up party.
Come to
you
our
are
wrap-up
invited.
party. Yes. We'll talk about what we watched and what was good and what was not so good. So, and we'll hopefully see you there.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye!
Bye.